Good afternoon. Oh, wait, hold on. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a freaking 5-alarm fire that startup was. Friggin' had my, how in the fuck did that manage to happen? Oh, there we go, I think. Yeah, there we go. I use, foobar for my audio on Windows, and I went to go drag the bar down to, like, fade the audio out, and instead, I had no idea it was even possible. You can rearrange all the friggin', like, controls in foobar, and it just started dragging the volume controller all over the place instead of actually doing any of the volume, and then we were muting it and unmuting it. Hey, remix, we're here. It's another Technical Alpha podcast. Glad you could join us today. As always, order default. We weren't here last week. We were busy, gents, and not only that, there was coincidentally not a hell of a lot to talk about anyway. There wasn't a lot of news to speak of, and truth be told, that trend didn't get any better this week. We do have some stuff that we're going to be able to obviously talk about, as we had that week off, and it allowed some to pile up, but in reality, not a hell of a lot. It's slow out there right now, Mr. Black. Slow season. But we'll make the magic happen. And before we get started, of course, the most important question of the week, Mr. Black, how was your week?
How was my week? It was just another week, really. Just another week. Didn't really do too much out of the norm. That's it, yeah. I don't have any...
Well, I mean, hey. Sometimes it do be like that. Was it, what am I getting here now? Somebody said they just posted something new. This better be good if you're letting me know about it in the chat. It better be good if I'm out here looking at the podcast topics thing. Oh, well, hey, Mr. Black might actually be interested in that one, so we'll put that one in the back pocket for later. But before we get to that, I mean, my week was, also another week, nothing to write home about, nothing crazy. I'm still like, I don't think I can remember the last time that I've done this. I've done this, off and on throughout years of streaming where, I'll get a little bit burnt out of doing single player games. Especially if I like marathon a couple of them back to back, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I did the, Baldur's Gate 3 right into Starfield, and I got burned out as shit. Baldur's Gate was 150 hours, and Starfield was 106 hours, and my ass was just done with first player, or single player games, I should say. And so, I was a little burned out on it, so I've been playing sports games, of all fucking things. Now, I've been gifted most of these, thank God, because they're all way more money than they actually deserve. And so I'm going to give a quick shout out to Drekka for hooking me up, as well as another buddy of mine, DJ, for hooking me up and allowing me to see these. Because I'm sure you're the same. Both of us probably stopped playing sports games around the same time. I'm going to say I dabbled in 2012, and I mean dabbled. Like, I walked through the room and out the other door, kind of a thing. But my last time that I, played sports titles of any kind was, 2007. Somewhere in that neck of the woods. And so I hadn't really dipped. I'd played, the odd thing here and there. I think I played, FIFA 19 or 20 for, 5 minutes or some shit. But I certainly hadn't played NHL or anything like that. And, of course, I played NBA 2K23. But otherwise... And so they sent me over, so I was like, oh, okay, fuck it, I'll give her a go. I'll play the franchise modes, we'll see what's going on. And gotta keep it 100. Sports games fucking suck. They're fucking they're the same game. I mean that from, the perspective of what it feels like to actually... not just, the franchise modes. First of all, I'll say this. So of all the games I played franchise mode in, I would say the ones that did kind of okay, NBA, not too bad. It's okay. It's reasonable. you at least get reasonable results. For example, you don't need to have like God on your team to win a game. You like if you start simming through shit, you're not just gonna get plowed under if you don't have like 5 LeBron James all on the fucking same team. You know, LeBron James passes it to LeBron James jives, passes it out to LeBron James shoots, score. You don't need that to win, which is nice because that's also reality. And so when you're doing franchise mode, you don't want to be getting your shit pushed in because sometimes it's nice to pick like a small market team and build it. That's kind of the fun. You know, it's not always fun to just go to like fucking Los Angeles and just use a team that's already God mode and makes $1 million. Otherwise, why the fuck are you doing franchise mode? So that was okay. NHL, not terrible. Also kind of okay. And I will say this, the gameplay aspects of all these games, while they haven't changed that dramatically in the last 15 years, they're probably the best parts about all these games. Because the reality is, and why they keep treading water, you'll soon discover is because every one of them has an ultimate team now. Every fucking game. The card game. Buying the cards, putting your fucking ultimate team together, spending hundreds of dollars worth of fucking microtransactions and shit. It's the first thing the game shows you when you boot it up. Advertisement, my ultimate team, new player, new card, the fucking Ruby, fucking Ruby, LeBron James versus fucking Ultra Black Diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you're like, oh fuck, you just like press B and then another ad pops up. It's like, oh bitch, you're not done yet, Ultimate Team, ugh. And then you finally have to go through all the menus to get away from Ultimate Team, and that's like every fucking goddamn sports game at this point. And so I don't even know. I'm not surprised at this point that when you go to actually play the game, it feels the same as it did over a decade ago. Because clearly, almost all of the development is going directly into the Ultimate Team shit, and then everything else is kind of just like, it's background now. It's like, does it play? Yeah. Does it kind of look like the sport? Yeah. Great. Ultimate Team. Make the magic happen. And so that's kind of been the experience across the board. Thus far, in all of them, none of the games are safe. They're all like that. And I think that also explains why. If you go and look at reviews, like if you were to like search reviews, user reviews for any of these games, they're all like 1.5, user bombed into fucking ground. Because everyone's like, it's the same goddamn game and Ultimate Team is shit. But if you're like me and you haven't played the game, or like Jeff, for example, and you haven't played a game since 2007 or some shit, you haven't played sports games in forever, you go in and you just play them like as the game and not the Ultimate Team shit, it's going to feel okay. It's not dog water. It's just going to feel okay. It's a competent game. The problem is that for people that buy this every single year, they notice that it's the same goddamn game every single year. For Jeff and I, when we go in, we haven't bought a game in 10 years, it's not so bad. But for the poor bastards that keep lining up, Madden 22 followed by 23 and 24, and they get it at home, they put that bitch in, and it's the same fucking game but more broken with more fucking Ultimate Team shit. It would probably drive me insane too. And so I can't say I blame them. Otherwise, I would say I've been kind of enjoying it. It's just been a nice break from, single player type gaming experiences. Sometimes I do, from a streamer's perspective, I get jealous of Mr. Black. I'm sure some days he gets jealous of me because I'm over here doing variety streams. I'm over here drinking alcohol on franchise mode and FIFA, just doing some shit that makes no sense. Nobody would ever do it. There's 4 people watching. Nobody give a fuck about FIFA franchise mode. Here's Adam sitting down with a fucking glass of fucking rum, straight alcohol, no nothing, just not even saying 3 words for 12 straight hours, playing some FIFA. Why I'm over here making music in the back of my fucking basement to put it on YouTube to get blasted on fucking Reddit about my fucking goddamn character and out of character content bullshit, and goddamn it, what the fuck. But I get jealous in the opposite direction because sometimes I wish that I had something that I could turn on that my whole community would show up for, on a consistent basis, and I could just and I could live with it. But I don't have, and so I could use some of that, because right now it's just like, my God, dude, I have to, as a variety streamer, it's not so bad. In like 2014, games had only started to get dog water, right? It was the very brink.
Yeah.
But now, games are shit! Well, I shouldn't say all of them. There are some, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is a fucking fire game, but we're talking like 1 A fucking goddamn million.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. So, it's not a great time for variety streaming out here, I can tell you that much. But nevertheless.
I mean, you could hate your life and just like, you know, grind one game. You know what I'm saying?
I tried, but I'm terrible at it. That's my problem. That's my problem.
I mean,
and now it's kind of like useless because like nobody's showing up to watch this bald fucking white dude play video games anymore. Like that ship done sailed. So now it's just my community. Bunch of people come in. I get to say hi. Literally old enough. Hi. How's the kids doing? Great. Go on that trip. That's my conversation with my community now. That's where we're at this point in time. They come in. We talk about the kids. How they doing? RSV going around in the schools? Yeah, fucking bullshit. I understand it's terrible. I can't wait to have my own and have these same complaints. Yeah, but, enjoy your sleep for now. Weather. Like that is that is my stream. That is my stream now. And I don't hate it. It's like, whatever. It's kind of nice because it's like, you know, I don't get to see friends in real life that frequently. And so it's kind of like having just an extended group. I show up, we can play some games, chill, shoot the shit, fucking whatever, and it's great. But god damn it, do I sometimes miss the day where I could press the go live button and just play like beta Hearthstone and have 800 people watch me and not have to worry about dick all? And not anymore. That was a long time ago. And in fact,
a long time ago.
Sports games were still the same back then, and they haven't changed until now. And so, other than that, my week has been another week. It's not been anything crazy. I'm probably gonna finish like a little bit of FIFA stuff today or tomorrow. Well, not today, probably tomorrow. And then on the weekend, Fox bought the whole meme team fucking copies of Call of Duty, and so I'm going to be enjoying that yearly release as well. We'll see just how much of a dumpster fire that bad boy is. So we'll find out. But otherwise, just another week. Didn't even get out with them to drive anymore. The last time it happened, we didn't run anyone over. So great success.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Car did not get damaged. We didn't run into a lamp pole or run the bitch up on a curb, put it in a ditch. Like none of that shit happened. So great success. And I got my new license plate because my old one was peeling like everyone else in the fucking province. Have any of yours done that, or you have like new enough that it hasn't started yet for you?
Yeah, I've had it happen once, but I haven't had to change up my plates for a while. Also, you know, half of my cars are in garages, right? So it's not.
Yeah.
It's
not
they
don't
bad.
Get weathered as much. Yeah. I've had the plate that I just gave up. I had for. I mean, it was on the car my grandmother gave me.
Okay,
it was that plate. This is old, but but like some of the ones that they printed in, like just like 2015, 2016. The printing method that they used was so dog shit that they're peeling like crazy to the point where they were offering like free plate replacements. So if you go I didn't pay for mine. Like typically you'd have to pay for it, but they were like, sorry guys, all of your shit's broke. I mean, my mom got pulled over driving my car because the plate was peeled. And the guy was like, you can go in and get that done free. And she's like, it's my son's car, fucking. And I was like, yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, that was it. That was my week. Now it's time to talk about some video games, Mr. Black. Shall we talk about some video games?
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Unity. You would give your best darkness Unity over there, Mr. Black.
Unity!
Thank you. Unity's changes and subsequent fallout with just about everyone in the development community and beyond has started to have some repercussions, Mr. Black. It's starting to come back on them a little bit. And by back on them, I mean the CEO, John Riccitiello, is gone immediately. Stepped down a couple days ago. They put out the announcement he would be stepping down as CEO. He was told to get the fuck out.
Step down or fired. Which one is it?
Which one would you like the public to say? Or to hear, I should say.
Yeah.
Which words? Fire or step down? You choose. So, he's gone. And I suspect other members of the board are probably going to also be removed. You might not hear as much about those because they're not like the big ticket item. But Johnny Boy's gone, which means he was too greedy for not only EA, but now Unity. And so now we get to wait and see who hires him next. Who's going to make mistake number 3? Third time's a charm, right? Like, clearly he has no pattern of behavior. Let's hire him and see what he does for the company. So we'll see who he goes to next. Or maybe he just retires. He's at that age. Maybe that will be the thing. But he's out, and we'll have to wait to see what else happens. Right now, they're in transition to new leadership, and but honestly, this could be one of those things where they're doing all the transition of leadership and stuff because they have to for like the public-facing side, and to like regain trust. Like, that's not the same people running the company, that were making these decisions. Blah blah blah. But until we actually see them come out and make changes to the reason why this guy's getting kicked out, this means absolutely fucking nothing. So we'll have to wait to see if that actually comes to fruition. But many developers, big and small, have all basically been like, nah, we're good. We're just gonna go somewhere else. So whoever takes over for John now has the wonderful time of trying to rebuild trust in the portfolio for Unity. So Godspeed to whoever the fuck takes that job on. Bigger news, and probably the cornerstone of this week, Mr. Black. We had talked about how it had been rumored before, and it honestly has been popping in and out of rumors for quite some time, probably because everyone knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. But Sony announced the PlayStation 5 Slim this week. The Slim model, not the Pro model. That's not here yet. That one's rumored for sometime next year, I guess, or the year following. But the Slim model. As anyone who owns a PS5 knows, it's a big boy. She's a sizable bitch. She's got a wide rear end. You back the thing up, it would come with a beep. It is a thick, with 3 Cs or maybe even 4 console. And so the lighter version, the PS5 Slim, gets rid of quite a bit of that. In fact, the numbers that they listed are about 30% volume of the console. And the weight, depending on which version of the console you had, of course, because there's a disc-based and a non-disc-based or a digital version. So the weight gets reduced by 18 to 24%. That's a pretty sizable amount over the original console. So it is substantially smaller than it was before. It also comes with a 1 terabyte drive this time, instead of the awkward like 824 or 825 whatever drive that the original PS5 came with. And that's good for about 1 Call of Duty update difference. So that's great. But better than having the same one. So I guess props. I would have liked to have seen them, if you're going to do a new console refresh of any kind, 2 terabyte. Don't fucking walk around with the 1 terabyte bullshit. Put the 2 terabyte in. 1 terabyte's good for about fucking 5 games these days on a good day. So just, maybe even the sports games are getting into like the 100+ gig fucking territory. So, 2 terabyte would have been nice. But again, 1 is better than 825. You can see there, Mr. Black, a link there for you so that you can take a peek to see what it looks like. In my opinion, they somehow made it look worse. The way that they rounded where the molding and part of some of the body is, it just makes it look like, I'm sure you've seen them because you're in the used market for a game, but those cheapy little versions of the PS5s and shit that you get from like China. They're like the mini versions. They're called like the Game Station or some shit. It kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like that a little bit. It's not hideous. It's just that it lost a lot of the sharp edges that made the PS5 at least look reasonable. I honestly have always thought the PS5 might be one of the ugliest consoles I've ever seen.
It just looks like a Dubai building. It looks
really
fucking bad.
It's really bad.
But whatever. Who gives a fuck? Who cares what it looks like? Just let it run.
So with that being said, so it is smaller, weighs less, great. So there's 2 versions, once again, a disc version and what they call a digital version. And as Mr. Black has probably seen as he scrolled down that page now, the digital version has a removable panel that you can attach a sold separately disc Blu-ray drive for $79.99 US should you want it later. So if you get the digital and then at some point in the future you're like, man, I really want to watch 4K, 90s Batman films, and I just so happen to have owned the re-release on Blu-ray, well then, fuck me, I gotta go get myself a Blu-ray player, and so now you have an option. You can buy the add-on that you can then take one of the quarter panels off, slap on a disc drive, put the other panel back on, and all of a sudden you've got what is essentially looks the same as the disc version of the PS5. So yeah, that's a $79.99 option. However, something to keep in mind if you are in the market, like let's say you haven't got a PS5 yet, because even though supply has been better, maybe you've had a hard time getting it still, or you've just been out waiting for the next round of models to come out. Lots of people do that, especially since, like we've talked about in the podcast here before, Mr. Black and I have. Mr. Black, what has this generation failed to really have for a long while now? Games.
Oh, yes. Games.
Mildly important when playing a console. And so many people were like, you know what? There's been a couple bangers, but most of them are just releases from like PS4 being re-released on PS5. So I'm gonna just wait. And then by the time I buy like the refresh, well, now I got a catalog of games to actually fucking pick up, and they're not going to cost me, as much money. So if you're in that category, then something to keep in mind is that the difference in price between the discless version and the disc version is $50. So unless you are like completely fucking strapped at the time and you really just want a game like that weekend, you don't have the extra $50 because let's be honest, shit's expensive right now and everyone's fucking up against it, so I get it. $50 is $50, especially US. That's like $7,000 here. It's a lot of money. All right, so if you're in that category, I urge you to maybe just wait, because on the back end, so it's a $50 difference, but then you pay $80 for the fucking add-on. So you're literally spending $30 more just to be able to add it on to the discless version in the future. Just see if you think you're going to need that disc for any reason, just grab the disc version when you got the extra $50 and fucking be done with it. Because back in the day, the difference, the $50 difference thing between like two models of consoles or whatever, that used to mean a new controller or a game, right? So if you're parents and you're trying to be thrifty for your kids, you want to have kids to have that shit for Christmas, stand at the fucking Walmart, you got a couple options, one's $50 cheaper, and it means that you can go over to the shelf and buy a new game to go along with it. Maybe, and so now you have two games, or maybe you got a game that comes with a console version and you got a couple kids at home, you need an extra controller, boom, $50 extra controller. That ain't doing it anymore. $50 don't get you there.
Oh.
So, just maybe chill, wait it out. Because it does cost $79.99 a game. So you're going to spend the full, you're going to spend the pre-tax for a game if you get the disc later to add it on to your digital-only version. So if you really think that you might want the disc version later on for watching Blu-rays or whatever, or to have physical games, just spend the extra $50 up front. Don't let Sony fleece your ass like this is some Microsoft Xbox 360 HD DVD player type shit. Don't do it. Don't walk into that fucking trap. Another thing to keep in mind is that while this comes with a horizontal stand, much like the original PS5 does, which I hate because it comes loose if you breathe on the console in any general fucking way, this new one also has what looks to be, and you've seen it in the pictures maybe, Mr. Black, like a fucking kickstand up front. It's weird, however they changed the shape of this console or just the downsizing of it, it now necessitates not only like this circular foot stand at the bottom, but also a weird fucking little clear kickstand that they put up front. It's the ugliest console of all time. No questions asked. I don't know how anyone could ever see it differently. It is hideous. And you gotta have like a little fucking mini dick tripod kickstand up front on top of your fucking, so it's just so dumb. It's just the ugliest thing I've ever fucking seen. So anyway, besides that, so let's say you're looking at it and you're like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, Adam. You know why? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to stand this bitch upright, and just like Jeff said, now it's really going to look like a tower in Dubai. This bitch is going vertical. I got some news for you. You might be able to get away with that if you, fucking put some weights on the side to stay it out, but there is a stand for that. Here's the problem. Sold separately for $30 US.
Get fucked on.
Which they've done in the past. Sony loves their stands, bro. I don't know if you remember this. They did it with the PS2 and the PS2 Slim. I think they might have even done it with some of their other shit. But like the vertical stand thing, bro, they love them some vertical stands. And $30 US, woo! That is almost the difference. Just to remind you, to get the Blu-ray disc drive in the console is $50. So they have valued the vertical stand at nearly the same amount of money as a 4K Blu-ray player. God damn. That thing better be fucking plated in gold. Actually, maybe not, because it'd make the console look even uglier. But by the point, it ain't classing up shit if it's gold, but it better be for that amount of money. So the disc version launches. Oh, wait, there's more. The disc version launches at $499 US, which is the same as the PS5 launch was with the disc drive. So that's the same. Great, awesome. Hasn't gone up, hasn't inflated, really. Unfortunately, the digital-only version has gone up $50 from the original launch digital version. So they've somehow reduced the amount of materials used in this console substantially, because the cooling system is way smaller than it was before, and that's one of the more expensive pieces in there because it's a lot of aluminum and shit. So they reduced substantially everything they use to fab these things. They've hit economies of scale a while back, to the point where they're like giving games away to try and sell consoles to beat their 25 million in 1 year or whatever the fuck, or the first couple of year, mark that we talked about the other week. And yet they still managed to find time to increase the cost of the digital version for $50 fucking dollars, while the disc version, for whatever reason, managed to stay the same. So Sony might be abusing their position in the market.
They own
Maybe
it,
just a little bit.
It is what it is.
So again, just buy the disc version, guys. I mean, you can clearly see they're trying to upsell you into the fucking disc version anyway. They increased the goddamn digital version by $50, and then they make you spend $80 if you want the disc add-on later. Like, you're literally pricing yourself out of options fast as shit. So if you're going to do it, just buy the fucking disc version, for God's sake. What I'm very interested in, and I don't know what we'll see, but I want to know how this thing cools. Right? It's way smaller. And these things run hot, Mr. Black. You have a PS5, I think. Maybe? No? Yes?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Have you run that? I'm on one today. You run that shit? This shit runs hot. I mean, the new console shit runs hot. But
I don't play games on it. I don't own a single PS5 game. I might have one game, but I don't play it.
You have Final Fantasy, but you probably haven't played it yet. Maybe that's it.
No, that's not.
No, you don't even have that one?
I don't.
Okay.
I might not actually have a single PS5
But you have the console.
game. I have the console, but I just use it for media. Or if I do like
True.
a sponsored thing, then they send me a game, and that's
True.
That's
True.
the show.
So, I mean, these bitches run hot. I mean, they've got a lot of hardware going on in there, right? Just like the PS4 did. That shit, like the old joke, PS4 sounded like a jet engine fucking taking off whenever you turn that bitch on. Especially in like year 4, you got a bunch of dust in there. It just fucking, that thing could not keep itself cool. You remember maybe, because usually during tech segment you nod off, but the PS5 went through recently with the PS5 Fat, we're calling it, obviously, the Fat version, the OG. They couldn't get the parts to manufacture the console was part of the problem, and a lot of it was the cooling solution. And the original cooling solution was a massive block of metal inside the fucking case. You open it up, it's just a sheet of fucking goddamn metal, and they're gonna do it. So they got a different supplier, smaller parts, to make it happen, to make more consoles, to sell more consoles. The cooling ended up being good. It hasn't caused any issues, but my concern would be you're taking that same thing or smaller and putting it in an even smaller case. It's gonna get even fucking hotter. Shit's gonna get crazy. So I'll be very interested to see what if they start to thermal throttle and then you get less game performance out of the smaller versions. We'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, there you have it. That is the PS5 Slim, Mr. Black.
Only Adam could talk about the tech of a console for a good 20 minutes. Only Adam can do it. I don't know another person.
I'm sure there's other podcasts that probably have like a full 3 hours dedicated to talking about the PS5 Slim.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you know what podcasts are like. You like, especially 2 dudes doing a podcast. You get, or if you had a third, it's even worse. Because then it's just like 3 dudes, usually like us, barely have any fucking clue what we're talking about 9% of the time. And you talk in circles. And everyone's just like posing a question that nobody really has an answer to, and then you just like pontificate in real time for like fucking 45 minutes. You've said absolutely nothing, but it's like 45 minutes of that shit. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it, but not 3 hours. I have my limits. Don't test me though. Could happen.
I won't test you. I won't even ask you a question. That's why I stay quiet a lot of the times. Like, dude, if I ask Adam a question right now, he's gonna go on a 20-minute tangent. So I'm gonna wait this out.
Either way, there you have it. PS5 Slim, coming soon to a Walmart near you. It's gonna happen. No whispers yet, by the way, of the stuff that we got in the Xbox leak about the forthcoming refreshes for that. We haven't had any more info, but obviously they're coming, and then it will be fun to see what those cost, if they increase in price, etc., and what comes out of it. What we don't have. If the documents are true, then the refresh is going to be 2 terabytes hard drive space, and that would be a pretty massive difference. You're looking at an Xbox Series X 2 terabyte, PS5 1 terabyte. That would be something to actually talk about, but we'll have to wait and see. Mr. Black, I don't know if you know this, but a couple of things. Tomorrow, I'm 35 years old. Time marches on. Time marches on. 35 going on 74. And with time marching on, unfortunately, sometimes all the stuff that we used to fuck around with, it just stops working. I'll let you use your imagination as to what that might be. But for this week, in the world of video games, what that means is that the online functionality for the 3DS, arguably the greatest... it might be, if it was considered just a console, 3DS might be the greatest console ever fucking made. You could make an argument for it. For the library, the amount of games, its portability, what it did to the handheld market, how many they sold to that motherfucker. It's in the list. You could have an argument about it. But the 3DS online functionality, gone. It's coming up in the not too distant, I believe I have the date here, is April 2024, but also the Wii U, which you couldn't have an argument about it being one of the greatest of all time because it's not. It's
not even top 5.
It's not even top 5 Nintendo consoles. So it's. However, that being said, it is also losing its online functionality in April of 2024. So, has to happen eventually. For people like us that never played around too much with the 3DS stuff, it's obviously not going to be much of a thing. I would hazard a guess, given how many they sold, there's probably still a lot of people using online functionality for 3DS around the world. There has to be, just based on the sheer number of them that were sold. Like, I don't know, it's well over 100 million. It's like 120 something plus million units.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with the online functionality?
Well, there's got to be something going on. I'm just assuming based on numbers. Like, it would be really difficult for me to believe, especially in like countries where mobile is way more popular, or people don't have the money for full-on consoles, so they tend to have like a handheld instead,
where
things
I
like
think
that.
Most of the 3DSs are right now? On shelves, in the garbage.
Oh, probably most. Oh, I would imagine. Most are for sure.
I would imagine it's a very, very small percentage of people. You
could have 10% of existing 3DS owners still actively using it.
There's no way.
Not even 10?
No.
Not 10%?
2. Maybe. 10%?
Well, okay.
You know how many 3DSs were sold? Do you know how many Nintendo Switches were sold?
So 2%, there's like 3 million people walking around right now still using online features for...
I don't think online. I think 2% may actually just use the 3DS.
I see.
Not the online functionality. And I mean, online would be like online multiplayer and stuff. And I mean, most people that get 3DSs at this point, they just want to play specific old games. They're not... It's a solo thing. It's not really, let's get online. Let's be real. Nintendo was never really known for online functionality anyway. The only thing that they've ever really done online would be like to download games. That's pretty much it. Nintendo online has been it's been the worst online gaming experience that I think you can ever get. Like, it's
original
really,
Xbox Live, arguably better.
It shits on like Nintendo Online now.
Running on DSL.
I'm not even joking. So, yeah. This
Question regarding that, Mr. Black.
This ain't affecting many people, bro.
Regarding Xbox Live. In your pantheon of experiences playing video games, especially during the peak, because back then that was peak. That was that was close to peak. If it wasn't peak, fucking goddamn close. That era. How high up does playing Unreal Tournament on Xbox Live when it first launched the service, Instagib only mode, how high up on the pantheon of video game experiences is that for you? Where does that rank up there?
I would say it's probably probably in the top. It's probably third to fifth. Third to fifth.
It was kind of wild playing on the Xbox Live. Do you remember the first day it came out? We were both trying to secure our fucking usernames and shit. Yeah. Our gamer tag. Yeah. I ended up with Archangel because you couldn't fucking get Archangel. I
think the reason why it felt the way it felt as big as it did is because it was really big. It was such a breakthrough.
For the console side, it was a big, it was a big leap. Yeah,
I played online stuff with StarCraft on the PC and other games, but to do it on the console, I mean, huge. You could just link up with somebody. We would sit on Xbox Live for fucking hours, and just fucking shoot the shit.
Yeah,
you'd use it like a telephone
on that shitty fucking
on that
gun.
little tiny shitty fucking mic. Probably sounding like it sounded like ass, but it worked. It worked, and it worked pretty well. I mean, obviously there was issues, but it worked pretty fucking good.
Honestly, I think the only thing I can remember, the only two things I remember being difficult about it were that at the time router technology was a bit bothersome depending on what service provider you were with. To do everyone had strict NAT at the time. And trying to go through and doing port forwarding to make games work was probably the worst part. And that was even on the PC. You had to port forward. We had to do it for Warcraft and StarCraft. Yeah. We had to port forward. But for the consoles, it was a fucking... it was a whole thing to go through it. Because if you didn't, you had a double, a fucking red bar connection. And you were going to have the worst fucking experience. Yeah. But otherwise, for us, I remember because you could always see your ping and whatever. And even back then we were green and we were on our shitty little fucking internet connections, and so our ping was 120, which sounds terrible now, but in 2002,
you were the fucking man. You're ready to go. You're good
to go. Yeah, Unreal Tournament was great. We play a lot of Instagib. That's why I had to bring it up. It's I don't want to say it was close, but it feels like it might have been close to as much time was spent in that as I spent in Halo 2 doing Unreal Tournament. I'm almost positive because it was one of the first Xbox Live experiences that we did was straight into Unreal Tournament, and that shit was crazy.
Dude, I used to be so fucking good at console shooters, and now I am fucking so goddamn bad.
I get angry how bad I am because in my brain I'm still in 2005.
Exactly.
And I'm just
100%. I what did I fucking play? I played something not too long ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, online shooter, and I used a controller, and bro, I couldn't believe how shit I was. I thought I could just plug the bitch in
and at least be mid pack.
Dude, I went in thinking I was gonna be better with a controller than a keyboard and mouse. Bro, man, I used to be the fucking man. Dude, I can barely don't get me wrong, I can fucking use a controller. But when it comes to being sweaty and competitive and fucking having that reaction and just pinging heads, dude, I'm my brain just can't even... I don't know how these fucking sweaty Adderall injected nerds fucking play this shit. I don't know if it's just because I got so used to a mouse and keyboard that I just can't... I can't go back. I'm actually that guy. Back in the day, I used to be people would get keyboard and mouse. Hey man, fuck you, bro. I just want to sit down with my controller on my sofa, kick back, and fucking own. If that means I'm 5% not as good as the best people, or I'm losing 5% of my skill because, you know, if I got used to a keyboard and mouse, fuck that. I want to be comfortable and have fun.
Yeah,
and I'm still pretty fucking good. Like, I'm good. Now, I'm that fucking guy. I mean, I'm never going to tell people don't use a fucking controller. But, like, if somebody asks me, what do you prefer to use? It's keyboard and mouse. It's not even close. Like, it's to the point now where I'll never buy a shooter ever again for console.
Oh, it's bad, bro.
I'm bad. Like, and I'm so bad I can't enjoy the game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because I get mad at myself. I'm like, dude, why can't you? Why? I think, what did I play, man? I'm so mad.
It wasn't just like Halo, was it?
Might have been Halo.
That's the only like recent
Halo,
thing
Master
I can think
Chief.
of.
I know I played that for a bit. Nah, bro, that wasn't it. There was another game I played, and I don't. Oh, what was it? I mean, I just played Twisted Metal, and I was on a controller for that. Even that, I sucked.
Oh yeah.
It was some shooter. It might have been some sort of sponsored thing that I did, but I was so bad. Never again.
Oh, it makes me angry. Well, it makes me angry because I'm angry at myself. I'm like, how did you forget to do this shit on a controller? Even in games that have like crazy high aim assist.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty, modern Call of Duty aim assist is fucking bonkers, bro. You leave the reticle in the middle,
the target, and it'll just go over there.
They run past. It's actually so bad that if they're in close quarters, the thing to do is don't touch your fucking analog stick.
Yeah, just shoot.
And it will actually be a matter of tracking. Like it's that aggressive. And when during the pandemic, I was on the couch, I couldn't do a keyboard and mouse thing, but we were still playing Warzone. Dude, it was the most painful fucking experience. Like I was like in Warzone, I was like, I was just okay. I like my KDA was like 1.37, 1.4, nothing to fucking write home about, but it meant that I was killing more people than who were killing me. And I have montages of doing like meme snipes of people out of fucking like helicopters and shit, like a fucking bolt action shot from like a 1.5 kilometers away type shit in a moving vehicle. I got the controller, I can't shoot a straight goddamn line. Like the person could be standing in front of me, not moving, and just to control the fucking spray, I can't fucking control the spray. It drives me crazy. And like I just watched. I think it is that at some point we stopped using controller almost exclusively because we were streaming.
I did for about
so we were on
years. I didn't touch a controller.
And so, and the kids now, in their hands young, stay on the console. They play Call of Duty on consoles exclusively.
Fortnite, all this shit.
All that shit, all on controller, and that's what it is now, right? It's different. So it's just like us. Like when you and I were playing, we were young, we entered the Halo fucking 2 tournament. We were doing well right up until that kid that was clearly on fucking methamphetamine and hadn't fucking slept in 9 days. Like that, like we were legitimately fucking good on controller, and now we're dog shit. Hurts. It hurts.
Dude, I'm starting to get bad with mouse and keyboard. That's how old I'm getting, bro. I've got it. I play games like there's shooting and stuff in Grand Theft Auto and shit. Like
you're not playing competitive like shooters or anything.
No, it does get sweaty though. But like I'm still really good with StarCraft in terms of like. See, where I'm really good at is I'm really good at moving my mouse with my wrist. Yeah. Right?
High sensitivity.
Like super high DPI, and it's just like, that's it. That's it. But when you're playing a shooter, you want to move like your arm. Like you want to
aim with your elbow because
correct.
Doing this for sniping, fine. The moment that you're in close quarters, you need to be able to like track a body.
Yes.
You can't
the DPI needs to be way down, and you need to like be super sweaty and competitive.
There are some guys that do it high like Halifax. He runs super high DPI and he's phenomenal, like in PUBG and shit. So there's some freaks out there that can do it, but for me,
nah. I'm really good with just this. When I go into this, I don't like I'm just My talent. I'm just old, man. I'm fucking. You're turning 35 tomorrow. I'm fucking 30. I'm turning 37.
You're old. We're old, but I think it's more about the fact that we just don't play them like as often as we used to. Like you are going to get dull if you don't do it. On top of getting old, and I think I just saw Nade Shot talking about how he feels like his skills are slipping, whether it's on keyboard and mouse or controller, and he's trying to figure it all out. And somebody in the comments was like, "Bro, you're just getting old."
Yeah. I mean, it's true though.
It's true. You
Your
start to lose. You start to lose
starts
it.
to go down some.
Yeah.
Your competitiveness starts to go down some. Your reaction time goes down. It's just
the way she goes.
It's the way, dude, man. I can't beat some sweaty 20-year-old that's been playing from fucking age 15, and this is like all they do all day, every day. I just can't compete.
It's true. It's true.
Can't do it. So,
to wrap up the game segment, because really that's all we have this week for the game segment. I said in my notes, I'm just going to read the notes. I said, I don't even know if anything else has to be said here other than the headline that's covering this internal town hall meeting that Activision held. So here it is. This is the title of the article, and I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to read this. You get every piece of information out of this that you need to know, if it doesn't already confuse you. The title reads, at Activision's internal meeting, inexplicably hosted by James Corden, Bobby Kotick promises a new dimension of emotional connection powered by artificial intelligence.
Patreon.com/LagTV. Head on over there and throw some money at the screen. Head on over there, support the podcast, get us to where we need to go so we can finally get some Nova War Says going up in this biz. Also, if you don't want to throw any money at the screen, that's okay. Go ahead and grab yourself a NordVPN subscription. Head on over to nordvpn.com/OTT. Head on over there. Use that promo code OTT. Get yourself a massive discount plus 4 extra months when you get that subscription. Guys, stay safe, stay anonymous on the internet. Watch different regions of Netflix and other streaming services at the click of a button. You can use it on your smartphone, your smart TV, your Mac, your PC, your iPad, your whatever device they got out there. You can virtually use it on anything.
The 3DS.
And everything. No. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you can even use it on your 3DS.
Somehow.
But until April 24th, when they pull the plug, April 2024, when they pull the plug on this online shenanigans. But head on over there, guys. NordVPN has been a big supporter of the podcast for a few years now. We want to keep them on board, and they're only going to do that if you guys continue to get your subscriptions. It's an amazing service, guys. They've been in the business for over 11 years. They're the best of the best. All right? I don't want to hear, "Oh, I've been using this VPN over here." Well, you know what? It's time to cancel that membership, and it's time to get NordVPN. You can game on these servers, game and stream on them at the same time. You support us, yourself, and the sponsor. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, the risk is riskless. It really is. You don't like it within 30 days, get your money back. It's a win-win. So head on over there. It's less than a cup of coffee a month at Starbucks. It's about as cheap as it comes. Good, high-quality stuff. And they've got all kinds of other services and different things that you can get into. All right? They've got password protection. They've got threat protection, which comes with your subscription. You can run in the background of your PC so that you can the software can detect and remove malware off your computer. Don't even need to be connected to a server. Just runs. Makes so that you're not getting malicious pop-up ads and stuff when you're on the internet. Guys, 2023. Have some anonymity in your life. It's that time. NordVPN. That's it.
Fantastic. And now it's time for
movies and TV.
I'm a little bit warm. Shay's referring, I think, probably to the fact that I'm looking a little shiny right now. That's actually just because I showered before this, and because I'm going a little bit bald, and on top of that, I have the world's worst skin. When I get out, you know what I put on my head? A little coconut oil. Moisturize. Yeah. Smell like a fucking cheap hooker, but it works. So get that coconut oil on there just a little bit. Don't go overboard. You'll fuck yourself up.
Or you smell like every single black person that
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they
you
ate a lot of coconut oil.
Hey, coconut
Shit.
oil, man.
That shit's the fucking jam.
Whoever invented coconut oil has made some money.
Well, they didn't have to invent it. Somebody opened the coconut one day and rubbed it on their face and skin and went.
Whoever packaged that and turned that out there into the masses
there you go.
made some money.
Made some money. So a little coconut oil up there, and then I have to because my skin's so bad, the $6 trillion fucking facial lotion I've got is like a heavy cream, so it's shiny as fuck. So when I first get out of the shower, I look like I'm just sweating for the first friggin' 7 or 8 hours. But it is a little warm in here, but it's cooling down slowly.
It is.
Global warming is still fucking us in the butthole here, but you know what? And it's now 17 degrees halfway through October.
Guys, I'll be honest, I'm okay
with
that.
Lock me in.
I'm in. Hey, if that means we gotta have a late fall, I'll have a late fall.
Yes.
I will do that. You want to start fall in November? Okay.
Hell
then
yeah.
Then let's start winter in end of February and have that bitch for 2 months and then fuck off. Could do that too.
I'm down for it. Diggity down. It also means theoretically, if all goes well, we only had that one storm. That this year so far. I mean, in terms of the tropical storm that we had a couple weeks ago. Other than that, we'll have for the people that go out and are enjoyers of the fall colors, we will have actual leaves on the trees this year. And if it's warmer for longer, that period should theoretically also be longer than usual, which means Cape Breton, God bless their soul, they have no fucking economy up there unless the people go there on Thanksgiving weekend. Maybe they did okay this year. But nevertheless, I will take these temperatures for sure. It's warm enough that I can still go outside and be comfortable, but cool enough that I can open the window and it cools the office.
Yep.
That's the dream.
Dude, if it was like this
year round,
couple
days of snow for Christmas, go away. Can we at least get that?
Well, if I had to choose absolutely no snow
and
be like this, I'm choosing this.
Okay.
But you know what? If you want to sprinkle a bit of snow down in late December, mid-late December, just for the
Christmas
15th
season
of December till New Year, right?
Yes.
And
January 1st.
January 1st, get it out of here. Yep. Turn the sun on.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Fuck off. That's it. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do that, bruh. The dream.
The problem with mild winters that lets ticks thrive. Here's the problem. The last couple of freezing fucking cold winters we had here didn't do shit to the tick population. Ticks are just crazy up here.
They're like cockroaches, bro. They just don't go away.
No.
It don't matter how cold, how hot it is. Them motherfuckers...
Those bitches waltzed up. We had new breeds here that waltzed up from the East Coast of the U.S. and just set up shop and fucking quintupled our fucking tick population in the span of 5 years. And now you can't have a walk in the fucking woods on a path without catching up with fucking 4 or 5 ticks just going through that bitch. You gotta mow your front lawn and be worrying about ticks and shit. It is just unreal.
We gotta give fucking Thor his tick shit all throughout tick season. Every time he comes in the house, we got to look for ticks. We go outside, a motherfucker's sitting there sniffing and pissing in bushes, and then we got to give him the comb through before we let him in the house.
Oh yeah.
It's man.
And I'm sure Kai, if he's out playing, or if he's out in the woods, or anything, you gotta be fucking tick check.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy. How did we get here? I don't fucking know. But anyway, it's movies and TV. Sony is introducing this. This could have been in either section, but I included it here for reasons you'll probably figure out. Sony is introducing new additions to the PlayStation Plus Premium/Deluxe tiers in the form of some 2,000 movies for buy or rent, and around 100 movies they will be able to watch for free as part of the service. This is kind of an extension or a rebranding, if you will, of the Bravia Core, which is kind of a service thing that people that own Sony Bravia televisions more recently had access to, and now they're bringing this to the PlayStation. I took a peek at the 100 movies in the list, Mr. Black. I'm going to say about 10 of them are actually worth watching. Maybe. And the rest of them are the ones that you watch when you're like, you know what? I can go for a movie that's probably so bad it's entertaining. It's kind of where those are at. So they chose their free movies. I don't even watch those
anymore. I don't even do that anymore. Yeah. I mean, there's so much shit out there that like there's always something that like I've been meaning to watch or I want to watch. So that, you know, never am I in a position now where I go, you know what? I think I'm gonna give this shitty looking thing a try. I just ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe regular ass everyday people that got way too much time on their hands can sit there and watch fucking 8 hours of media a day. I've got like 8 hours a week is like what I got, you know? So I'm choosing fucking the stuff I want to watch.
I think for some people, instead of watching the really good shit, like they're not, their interests maybe aren't that broad for the good stuff. So they get through the stuff pretty quick. And then like it's their guilty pleasure to watch like truly terrible fucking movies. There's a good example of this that it's kind of like self-torture, but it's like shared torture because it'd be the same if you and I sat down and did something together. These guys are like old friends for a million fucking years. Sit down, I think it's once a week, and they watch one of Steven Seagal's movies. They have a whole series of watching Steven Seagal movies.
Oh.
And there's
good old Steven Seagal.
And they're so bad.
They're bad, bro. I couldn't do it. When I was like 13 years old, hell yeah, I could do it. Now, I can't do it.
Oh, they're so
I can't watch them.
Terrible.
Same with Chuck Norris and stuff. Like all those movies are so bad. They're so bad.
Yeah, but nobody is Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is his own animal. He is a special boy.
Bro.
But yeah, either way, the 100 movies that were listed there that were for free, I wouldn't get excited about them. But I mean, I guess having the option to rent or buy movies on yet another platform might excite some people, but if you have to be part of the premium or deluxe tiers in order to be able to get access to that, it's kind of fucking stupid. And maybe I misread it. Maybe this is just coming to every console. Well, I don't know, but it was certainly read at the time that it was only for premium and deluxe, so I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone fucking cares. I'm just going to keep this 100%. There's so much content. You can probably get every one of those 2,000 movies, or the ones that matter, on about 5 other different platforms on any given day. And if there's something that people already have enough of, it's subscriptions.
Yep. And they ain't getting any cheaper.
No, everyone's increasing the cost of those bitches. So, you know, I'm going to be starting to axe them. Em and I were talking about this the other day. We were like, we don't have a kid yet. Disney Plus about to go bye-bye. Take a look at that.
I mean, if you don't have kids,
there's almost no reason.
What is Disney putting out at this point? You know what I mean?
You have to be a Star Wars fanatic and be accepting of the fact that, like, and enjoy the Star Wars that they're putting out, which is like very little for me. I like and nothing really. I have no.
Yeah.
There's been nothing to stop me go on Disney Plus. I haven't looked in the direction of Disney Plus in ages.
We only have it because Kai. Kai uses it every day. So
and that's the show. Yeah. Speaking of, I'll get your professional opinion as somebody who's an avid movie watcher, Mr. Black. But I was going to say, speaking of cheesy movies, John Woo, who some might call one of the grandfathers of modern action film, hasn't done a North American release in 20 years, but he's doing one now, Mr. Black. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it yet. I took a look at it the other day when it first popped up. It's called Silent Night. It's a revenge flick, of course, because all action films are, in some way, shape, or form, a revenge flick, in which a father loses his young son in a gang crossfire right out in front of their nice white picket fence home on Christmas Eve, of all times. Just the worst. Good old-fashioned Christmas revenge flick. Losing his voice to surgery he himself required after the event. Basically, it was like in the trailer, it's like guys going by in cars shooting at each other, crossfire, kid goes down, he gets fucked, comes out, finds out the kid's dead, loses his goddamn mind, time to go kill some motherfuckers. That's kind of what this movie is. But the thing is, trachea or whatever, he can't, he's in the mirror, he's screaming and barely any sounds coming out. So that's why it's called Silent Night. He's probably never going to have a single line of dialogue except for maybe the first 10 minutes of this movie. And it's going to be some dude saying literally nothing, just killing people for like an hour and 20 minutes, which could be pretty fun.
Sure.
Why not? Now, what might make people's ears perk up a little bit, although it's a producer, it's not quite the same as like say a director, but the producer for John Wick is on board with this as well. So it's the same dude who produced John Wick with John Woo coming back.
Yeah, a lot of the times though.
That's why I say producers like
they'll do shit like that just to put John Wick in the trailer.
Yes, that's exactly
to get
what this
people
is.
Amped up, like, oh, John Wick.
Yes.
Duh. And then just like there's like a little small print where it's like producer.
Yeah.
But John Wick is like this
the biggest font.
And they're just like, oh yeah, I'm in. Yeah, no.
So that being said, the person starring in it, the guy starring in it, Joel Kinnaman, does get me interested because while I haven't seen a lot of his stuff per se, the things that people might associate him with are maybe some of the episodes he did on House of Cards or Suicide Squad. He had a part in that, and he's done a couple of other movies over time. He's been around for quite some time now. But the where I discovered him was in Altered Carbon Season 1, which is still one of Netflix's best intellectual property kind of deals that didn't exist anywhere else. They did it there. Season 2, we're gonna forget it existed, but Season 1 I actually thought was really dope, and he did a really good job in that role. And ever since then, I was like, man, I wonder if he's ever gonna get any more action roles to speak of. And now here we are. He's getting this one. The trailer is super John Woo. If you don't know what that's like, you've probably seen a few of his movies before and just not known, perhaps. But it's very John Woo, Mr. Black. So you said you did see the trailer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see the trailer? Oh,
no,
okay.
No,
okay.
No. I've heard of the movie, but
you didn't see the trailer? So what do you have a take on John Woo? Should we be excited that he's back after 20 years, or is the 77-year-old action guy going to be? Do you think that this might, not having seen the trailer, so this might be an interesting take? Do you think, as a guy who watched a lot of films, do you think that a John Woo movie is something, if he just kind of sticks to his guns, is something that will play in 2023, 2024? Or do you think that because, ironically, John Wick, which they are pulling up the name on screen, will be the thing that kind of makes this a difficult film to pass because everyone is now kind of used to this new level?
There'll be some high expectations. I mean, if it's sort of a low budget-ish movie, it probably is. They probably maybe spend 20, 30 million bucks on it. It's probably not that expensive. Silent Night.
Yeah, it's called Silent Night.
Silent Night budget. Let me see here.
Maybe it hit 50.
It might. The numbers. Let me see here. It doesn't say.
Yeah, that might not even be information anyone has yet.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't find it right off the rip. It might be out there somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah,
I think if you curb your expectations, you just go in there, you have fun.
Yeah, it's probably
it'll probably be a good time.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good as John Wick, but it might be a good time. I'll check it out, but I'm not going to go to the theaters and watch it. I'll definitely watch it at home.
Yeah, it looked like the trailer. Here's the thing: is that it feels like, even though this plot, I don't think we've had this exact plot, but it does feel like maybe it's just because I had this thought one time, and now because I had the thought one time, I'm noticing it more. But we had The Quiet Place came out, and then there was how many derivatives of okay, you can't hear, you can't see, you can't talk movies came out after Quiet Place, you know what I mean? We had 3 or 4 of those, and then Quiet Place 2 came out, and then we had another one. There was one that Em and I just watched not long ago that was an older man that was blind, that was on some sort of fucking redemption arc rampage. I can't remember what the name of that movie was.
Lights Out?
Was it Lights Out?
Yeah. Is it did you watch Lights Out 2?
He was he's an older guy.
Yeah, white dude, kind of muscular-y, but kind of not. Got It's probably
It might have
Lights
been.
Out.
I can't remember. Either way. I wish I remembered the name. But I came into the room when Em was already just 20 minutes in, so I never knew.
Is it Lights Out?
I don't think it's Lights Out.
No, not Lights Out, but it's called I know which one you're talking about. Is it kind of a horror movie? Maybe a
little bit. There's a young girl involved where he ends up kind of being a protector of sorts.
So
and
it's the movie I'm thinking of, but it's number 2. In the first one, he was the bad guy.
Yeah, now he's
and now
redemption.
He's got a bit of a redemption arc. So he would, people broke into his house, and he would he had people tied up, and he was killing. I don't know what the fuck. I forget it. But it was a horror thriller movie. It all happened in a house. And then in this one, he basically turns a leaf and he starts protecting.
So he was blind. So you had so we've been down this fucking road of that's the gimmick in a lot of these actiony thriller action movies. And so now here we are with this version of Can't Speak. And the joke was, the joke with John Wick, of course, was that Keanu Reeves only had three lines of dialogue.
That's it. Don't Breathe.
Is that
Don't Breathe 2. That's the one you've watched, guaranteed. I still haven't even seen Don't Breathe 2. It's got the dude that you fucking hate in it. The guy, the main. Do you know who the main character is?
I honestly only paid half attention to this fucking movie. Let me see. Let me look this up real quick. Don't Breathe.
As soon as you look up Don't Breathe.
Yeah, this was the movie.
The main, yeah. I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know who the main actor is?
Stephen Long?
Lang, yeah.
Lang?
But do you know what movie he's from?
Oh shit! I had to click to get him without. I had to see him. I had to see him without the whole shtick on. He's aged since I've last seen him in Avatar quite a bit. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I didn't recognize him when I was watching the movie at the time.
Yeah. I didn't even see number 2. I saw the first one. I actually really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah. It wasn't what I watched of it when I was sitting on the couch, I wasn't paying that close attention, but it was okay. It was definitely a good Netflix movie for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of, so it's just I don't know if it's just me looking for it and I'm seeing it now, but it just seemed to be a trend thing after Quiet Place started, several years ago. And now it's just, we've got a bunch of spin-offs with these kind of similar gimmicks. But like I was saying, ironically, John Wick, everyone joked about him only having 3 lines in the whole fucking movie. And now here we go with this one. The guy's probably not going to say.
Well, I think part of it is it keeps costs down. You don't need as big of an actor. You don't have to really show your acting chops. You know what I mean?
On
you just the action,
the
set pieces, and that's that, right? There's always this. Oh, the character's deaf, or you're dealing with a child actor, and then the child actor is deaf, or
they only communicate through sign language.
Yes, or it's a child actor, but they're foreign, so they speak a different language. So you don't really get there isn't. They'll say 3 sentences in English that they learn from the main character in the beginning, and then at the end they finally say 3 words in English, and you're supposed to laugh oh my god, she said I love you. Oh, she said whatever, she said that line, she did the thing. Yeah, it's the same old shit, bro.
It's kind of true. So yeah, there you go. There it is. I'll watch it just because, like I said, ever since I saw Altered Carbon season 1, I've been waiting to see if this guy could get another. I'm kind of sad that he's probably not going to talk very much, because one of the things that I thought he did very well in Altered Carbon was the actual acting part. He did a very good job in that regard. He was kind of, when I thought about who would have done a really good job, not that you're not going to complain about Ryan Gosling, but if you were going to do Blade Runner, he would have been a front runner in my mind for who would have done the grizzled Blade Runner guy. I think he would have done a really great job with that too. So I'll watch it for that anyway. And it's John Woo. 20 years. Fuck it. Let's see what we got. Maybe for us, it might be nostalgic. The slow motion bullet cam. Fucking cars are gonna be doing slow motion everywhere. Shit's gonna be it might be nostalgic at that point.
Yeah.
SAG-AFTRA, Mr. Black. We got some minor updates this week, unless something cracked open here in the last few hours that I didn't see. But SAG-AFTRA came out and said, and reiterated this earlier today as well, that studios are just flat out refusing to continue negotiations at this point. They've just kind of walked out on them. And that the last deal offered is worse than what was offered pre-strike. Specifically, including refusing to protect actors from artificial intelligence replication, wanting to be able to have the use of a performer's digital replica for an entire cinematic universe or franchise, which is another really fancy way of saying in perpetuity.
Yeah, we own you.
Yeah.
You want to die?
And your likeness doesn't matter.
Hey, we'll still put you
Your
in our
family
movies.
ain't getting shit. We're going to take all that money.
All of it.
So it was calculated, the deal that SAG-AFTRA put on the table for streaming services, specifically that portion of it, they're looking for roughly 2% for the actors of streaming revenue going away, which they also calculated, of course, in terms of like the fact that you could literally take it out of the like C-suite compensation and they'd still be like making like tens of millions of dollars a year. So like it's like what they're asking is not even like fucking wild, crazy. Like if somebody came to you and said, yeah, the actors are getting 2% of the revenue for streaming, you'd probably be like, that seems low. But that's what they're asking for. And specifically, I would imagine the real big sticking point is this whole like AI fucking, you know, owning their fucking.
Well, they need to. They need to protect themselves. The writers, the actors, and to be frank, almost virtually every single industry,
any
out
entertainer,
there.
Really,
because like you know, we're talking musicians. I mean, you name it. Like AI, AI is relatively new. It's always been here for a while, but like now it's to the point where it's getting. Well, you know freakishly good.
You know what one of the best lines is right now, and the thing is that you could say it at any point. Like, but AI is the worst it will ever be, right now.
Yes, it's only
right?
Yes.
And so like it's
like
what
you're trying to say, but no, I agree. It's going to get better. It's going to get crazy.
It only gets better, and right now,
yes. Imagine 20 years from now, right,
bro?
I mean, think about it. Even 10 years out. Right? It's going to be really ironed out. There'll be some crazy shit. In 20 years?
Oh.
It's scary. I don't even want to really think about it. But like people, they need to protect themselves. And these studios, these corporations, they will milk every goddamn thing that they can. They will get you to sign some bullshit. And then they'll just start creating digital versions of you, and it's going to look very real. It's going to sound very real, and that'll be the show. It'll get to the point where, you know, voice actors, stuff like that, like animation, they just, you know, the actors won't even need to be there. They'll go in there and they'll record like certain parts that AI that you can hear. Okay, that's AI, but for everything else, bro, you're just going to be replaced. So it's
a great example of this. And I'll just offer this up just because, you know, we got a couple minutes here. That was the last piece, and it's a bit of a funny thing, and we haven't done something like this in a while. Can I send you a quick, it's not a very long video that we can watch. That's exactly what we can show this exact problem right now in real time about AI, specifically replicating voices. But it's funny. Can we do that real quick?
As long as the video is not like fucking 30 minutes.
No, it's not a 30-minute video. No. And it's not a tech video. It's just using AI to accomplish this video. I'm gonna bring this up and I'll send you the link and we'll do a little countdown meme. Let me just switch this account here so I get no ads. Hashtag YouTube Premium, by the way.
Oh, I told you about that.
Bro, you got me on it, and I can't.
You get YouTube Music, everything with it, bro.
I can't go back.
Like fuck Spotify. It's just that's where it's at. You get YouTube Music with it. No ads is like life changing.
Oh,
when you're on your phone, you can like turn your phone off, and your shit still plays.
Oh, dude. That should. I think I said this before.
I mean, it should
that
come
should
with
probably be it.
Yes.
That should probably be a thing.
Dude, I mean, Jesus, when I told you about that before, I'm like, it's been life. When I tell you it was the greatest subscription I've bought, like The sub that I own.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's not even
100%.
close.
Dude, I'm in the like I don't have infinite data on my phone. You can bring the video up and pause it at the beginning and let me know, and then we'll do this.
Yeah.
But like in the car now, before, you know, I'd be, you know, I'd put it down to like 144p or something, use as little data as humanly possible. But now, if I don't have to or don't want to do that, I can just go audio only. This is fucking, it's
Yes,
the Catalina wine mixer.
Yes, you don't even need to use all that data anymore.
No, and again, it probably should be like that by default, but...
Well, that's why they do. That's why it's not like that by default. So
Boy,
they get
yeah,
all,
exactly.
Dude, they could make that shit $30 a month, and I'd pay it. I'm not joking. That's how life-changing this fucking, I won't go back. I'd rather just not use the platform.
Oh, yeah.
I would pay $30 a month for YouTube Premium. Don't tell YouTube that. Because I don't want it to be $30 a month, but it's there's that much value for me. All right, I got it up. I'm good.
Okay, well, so I don't, as it turns out, like I don't have the the trailers thing set up properly right now with this new layout that we have. So right now your screen is the middle section of the video.
It's all right.
All right. There you go. That is so this is the unscripted. This is the YouTube channel, unscripted. And it's called Todd Howard Unveils the Truth About Starfield in an Honest Conference. All right. And we'll get this going. Mr. Black will count us down in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the opening night of Honest Conference, and for the first time ever, one of our industry's greatest creators, the director and executive producer of Bethesda Game Studios. That's right, Todd Howard, everybody. And Todd is here to give us an honest account of Starfield.
Thank you, Jeff. This is my first Honest Conference, and I'm doing it because you said how great the crowd is here. And
So Todd, we love you, and this is a safe space. You can let the truth out now. Why did you want to make this game, Starfield? Why did you want to create a new world?
we have dreamt of a game where we can truly break the creation engine in every aspect. Once you've all upgraded your PCs, you'll be able to explore thousands of barren planets where a real sense of loneliness will start setting in. I mean, we tried to do something new where you could explore with complete freedom in the galaxy. But something's wrong with the game, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
It can't be all that bad, though, Todd.
Well, crafting is worse, outposts are worse, companions will constantly moan at you, perks are worse, there's fewer gear slots. You know, I could go on and on. Can you imagine 16 times the loading screens, though?
Yeah, I wish I could talk about the loading screens. And it's quite an experience, and I know everyone here is very excited to experience it soon. So, Todd, what bugs did you bring to HonestCon?
Yeah, it's really cool. We've built
What
a
bugs you bring to
300-person
HonestCon?
seat theater where we're constantly looping bugs from the game.
What's the experience like?
Well, to be honest, it's a real nightmare. They're gonna need to buckle up, and it's
What the
2 hours
fuck?
they'll never get back. And I see a lot of things on the internet.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, this is
Let's move
This
on
is
to
all
questions.
AI
This is
for his
literally-
voice.
yes.
Both
Yeah.
their
Oh,
voices.
Yeah, Jeff, as an example of a quest, you'll go to a star yard, talk to a lady, need to fetch a beverage, 10 loading screens later, and you've got a beverage. That's it.
Oh
That's the
my
only quest
fuck.
in that handcrafted location.
Surely there must be some improvements to the creation engine.
Hey, yeah.
Oh.
So you see what we've done with global illumination.
That looks like
quantum
ass.
Physics, artificial intelligence, character variation. and our
This makes the
brand
game
new
look so
cutting
bad,
edge
bro. It's-
Dude, it is a
2005
terrible
motion
game, I'm gonna be
It
honest.
looks- it makes the
technology
game look
add to this.
so
I honestly believe we
fucking
have
bad.
the worst AI in the world because, hey, you know, the modders will fix that. And after
The
2 hours
modders
in the
will
game,
fix
I
that.
still have no idea where anything is in New Atlantis. I honestly have zero clue where my penthouse apartment is.
And any Metacritic predictions for this, Todd?
We're aiming for a controversial 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
Controversial
it's such
7
an
out of
awkward
10.
Experience, you know, and hopefully a nail in the coffin for the creation engine. But Todd,
nail in
you
the
and your team
coffin
have played
for
such
the
a pivotal
creation
role
engine.
in game development and have created some of our fondest childhood memories. We'll still buy the game and chalk this all up to experience. And now at least we can look forward to Elder Scrolls
Yeah,
6.
you will.
So thank you for all you've done for our industry, Todd. Everyone, Todd Howard.
Thank
How does
you.
this video not
Shout out
have
to the chess
fucking
club.
millions of views?
Thanks so much, Todd. Really appreciate it.
Oh shit.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, they have they have a whole bunch of fucking. This song actually slaps.
guy's just eating ass. That fucking.
So for those listening at home, you have to watch on YouTube. First of all, just go to the video. Again, it's unscripted, but called the Starfield Honest Conference.
What the fuck is this?
Honest conference.
Oh my god! Oh shit!
What's up with the creatures just eating these dudes in the videos? Wow, look at that.
Oh, fuck me.
Wow.
This is... It's
All
so
right,
good.
well, yeah, so this is literally what I'm talking about. So, and like, give it 10, like, just 10 years. I mean, 10 years from now, you really... They need to protect themselves. I mean, I understand. I get it. I get
like
it.
that's literally like if you went into that video and like even though you might have like if somebody just played that for you, I mean you had no context until you heard probably the second or third joke that was like blatant.
Yeah.
Only would you realize you were listening to artificial intelligence generated voices for both Jeff Keighley and Todd Howard. And it's not, you know, that's kind of fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
It's kind of fucked up. So, you know, for that exact reason, it just came to mind when we were talking about this. Like, you're right. People got to protect themselves because this shit it's bad now. Like, people are like, some people only think about it like, oh, how smart or how stupid is GPT. This is the stuff that's the picture, video, audio editing part of AI is way more concerning right now in the near term than let's say ChatGPT replacing you at your job.
Just wait until this shit gets real. Like I mean, and your everyday users on the internet can get their hands on this shit. The amount of like political shit, fucking, I mean, dude, you won't even know what's real and what is real. Like they're going to literally have to create some sort of law that like if you get caught putting out stuff that is not real and it's not marked that it's not real, because you can create some serious financial damage, like the stock markets, I mean, you name it, bro. It's going to get fucking messy. So Godspeed. I am not looking forward to it, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. There'll be some good that'll come out of it for sure.
Like that video, that's some funny shit. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
There'll be some bad. There's gonna be real bad.
Next election.
Shit,
how long we got on the next election for both the states and up here? States. Are we having an overlapping election 2 years? Like, are we? So like,
well, 2024 is coming.
Yeah,
for the states.
Yeah. Are we 2025 or 2024?
2025. I want to say.
Okay.
We just had one.
Because once in a while they overlap, and it's like the most fucking cataclysmic time to turn on a television when both countries are trying to fucking like get people elected simultaneously. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's crazy. You know, right now it's good for a meme here and there, but yeah, it can do some crazy shit, and that's why the actors and actresses out there are trying to, you know, ensure that they're protected, because it's a meme now and ain't going to be a meme for a hell of a lot longer.
Nope.
So just something to keep an eye on. Anyway, that's it for the movies TV. Unless you got a little something to add. Em and I watched another couple episodes of Love Is Blind, but we're still. I don't think we're at the very leading edge of it. Yeah, so I don't think I don't know if we caught up just yet. I think we have, like, maybe we might be an episode or two back. We're at the point, or on one or two episodes past the point where the big reveal of the two people having previously bro, do you the producers must have been like feverishly jerking off in the background knowing that moment was coming.
Oh, for sure.
Because
they told them that like, you don't say a word because you'll fuck the whole show up.
Nothing.
But we'll just wait until towards the end. Then we'll do the reveal, and we'll fucking throw a bomb in the middle of all this. And it gets worse, man. It gets worse. Wait till you see
I'm
the
sure
shit
it
on
gets
me.
worse.
Yeah, bro. It's a fucking shit show, bro. It's a shit show.
But yeah, well, if that's it, then it's time to move on to
Tech support.
Patreon.com/LagTV, the place to go if you want to financially support the podcast. Get a couple perks, chiefly one of them being here on Tech Support. Post a post on our Patreon page each week called Tech Support, where you can ask us some questions and we give you some answers in the time that we have.
Also, so people know. Know.
Where are we at?
The last bit of physical merch is coming.
Yes.
I think there's like 40 something.
41 remaining.
Yes. So we will be sending off the last bit of that. Kayla has been. Everything is packed. All the labels are done. The moment she can get to the post office for God knows how long and fucking go through all that, that might take. That might be a couple. I mean, she might. Yeah,
we're gonna pay her a salary that day.
Jesus fuck. That's like I don't even.
Well, I was there when I did it last. We had how many did I ship out? It was in the last batch. It was pretty similar. It was around 50, and I was there for 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And what takes the longest is that you have to, like in Canada, you have to like go on the website and then like enter in all of the fucking tag information, and so that they can scan it for each fucking one.
It's brutal.
They used to do that themselves while you were doing the work.
Now they're
there,
lazy son of a bitches,
and now you
gotta
gotta do
yourself. So
all of it. So it's a fucking shit show.
Expect to see merch before the end of the year. I mean, obviously we're gonna be shipping it
the slowest possible way.
Yeah. So like, I would expect that everybody that was eligible will have their stuff by the end of the year. Some of you, if you live in Canada and the US, you might get it sometime next month. But especially if you live in Canada, in the US, probably sometime next month. But if you're in like fucking Australia or the UK or some shit, like you could be, it might be a hot minute, but you get it. It's coming.
It's coming. Oh, right. There was one other thing I forgot to mention in movies and TV. I'll just drop it real quick for you, Mr. Black. Dragon Ball Daima anime series is apparently on its way in 2024 in the fall. Written by Akira Toriyama, so it was originally written by Akira Toriyama, so OG shit. And his message on the latest announcement is here, but they didn't fucking put it in tweets, so I'm not going to read it. But yeah, more Dragon Ball.
Cool.
And that's very specifically Dragon Ball. No, there's no Z. It's Dragon Ball. So
okay.
just so that you are aware. There you go. So Mr. Black will have more Dragon Ball content to consume next year sometime. Let's see. Okay, let's go on. I'm interested in the answer for this too. By the way, a shout out to Patreon for changing their branding for like the 4th time in 2 years and then updating the mobile app to make it worse yet again. I just stop. You guys talk about spending all this money and having a hard time keeping your business model fucking afloat. I can tell you a real quick way. Stop redoing your whole fucking goddamn mobile app every 3 minutes. It'll help you. I always say it because I'm trying to navigate it right now on my phone. It's a complete fucking shit show. This comes in from Terratron, Mr. Black. We've casted a few of Mr. Terratron's games for the channel. I said for Jeff, because Stormgate. Said I realize you can't talk about specifics, but as far as replays go, and if you haven't already, can you give some feedback?
I can't give anything. Sorry.
Well, I think he's just asking on what you'd like to see maybe for a good replay system, not specific to what exists in Stormgate right now, because he knows you can't talk about anything that's in Stormgate. But is there something like, let me phrase it this way a little easier. What would be your wish list for a Stormgate replay system as somebody obviously who has done and used replays as we have on Live TV for a long time? Is there anything that you'd like to see that maybe StarCraft's one doesn't have that you'd like to see?
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to just jump to certain parts of the game, kind of like a VOD.
Instead of fast forward?
Fast forward, which I'm sure they could probably do at this point.
I think the reason why that works the way it does is because the game is replaying out all the physics and everything else in real time back. It's not an actual video. It's literally
Makes sense.
recorded data, which
Makes
is
sense.
why if you go back and watch it, the physics will act differently every
Yeah.
time. So that's the hurdle. Could they come out with it? Somebody's smart enough. Probably.
Yeah, so that'd be nice. And outside of that, I mean, as long as the key things are there on the screen, it'd be cool to remove all UI as well. So just to have a button that you can say the action's going on, you click a button, it's just the game. Fucking everything is gone. All you just see is just the game. That'd be cool. StarCraft got something similar, but there are still things on the screen. But you can remove quite a bit of it.
You know what I would like to see?
You know, maybe also having some of the best or so for example, I think what would be cool is when you play games, you know, your replays for each player profile is like right there. So say you played somebody on ladder, you can go to their profile and you can just go watch all the previous games. Like just you click on it, you just go watch it. You know, you can analyze their builds, you can do whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Kind of like ghosts in racing games, where you can go to a profile in many racing games and you can see somebody's track time and download their ghost and then race against their ghost on the track.
Yeah.
Kind of
But
a
then
similar...
again, you know, some players might not like that because, you know, they
gives away information.
It gives away their thing. So maybe even just the option to put that up there if you wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, replay systems are pretty... I mean, shit, if we even just got a carbon copy of StarCraft's replay
would
system,
be good.
I'd be fine with that.
I imagine that's probably the default they're going to shoot for.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to make it any worse.
No. I would say the only thing that I can think of maybe would be that you'd be able to move elements of the UI around to create a custom UI for positions of things. And have them snap, or you can whether they snap to different edges of the screens and shit. So like maybe you want to have a mini map, but you don't want it to be in the corner that you want, and it will make it easier if you have custom overlays and whatnot in recordings or streams or whatever to be able to work around it. Or if you just find that based on custom stuff that you want to do, you can move shit out of the way so that you can get a better view of the field or whatever, but still have the information on screen. Because stuff that like a lot of the edited stuff that StarCraft's one had. Were basically just streamlined or shifted around positions of existing elements, right? Yeah. So being able to like get into
Customize
a replay,
your own,
escape, have the game pause, and then click customize UI, and then just
Well, I mean, it'd be even better if you could just customize your UI and then have it saved, and then every single
that's what
time,
I mean. Like you could save like a profile, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you could save it as like a profile kind of thing.
That's
that might
a great idea.
That might be
That's
that might
a great
be cool.
idea. I like that. That's a very good idea. And that way you could also change depending on the type of game you're casting.
Yes, exactly.
You could change the type of information or just the look overall of that. This is what I will say about Stormgate. And I'm going to be very vague.
It's a video game.
So the second race is available to play now.
How many are they? Are they doing 3?
3. So
they've said that they're only doing 3, right?
Well, they said with the I think they have 4 in mind, but
the launch is 3 kind of a thing.
I think the launch will be 3.
Yeah.
So right now, anyway, this is what I'll say. You gotta choose my words carefully here. Let's just say some of the concerns that I had about the game when I first saw it, those aren't really concerns anymore.
Okay.
So
that's positive. Vague and positive.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
So, I can't really get into specifics, but honestly, and I think I'm okay for saying this, I believe that the showing that they showed, I don't know why they showed it the way they showed it. I think they underplayed what they currently had, or maybe
they didn't actually have my experience that I had with the game at the time, and it's just
Well, I think we both agreed they needed to let that shit bake a little longer before first showing it.
But let's just say, it's the game.
Some of your concerns are quelled. They're
I still have some concerns.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the game that I'm playing, which is still in early alpha, is as polished as StarCraft 2 or as polished as Warcraft 3. But I will say, for at the stage it's in right now, comparatively from the stage that StarCraft 2 was in,
when they showed that off,
this is this is like leagues ahead. I will say this, and I don't think I'm giving anything away. So now you got me fucking talking about Stormgate, and I got to watch it. I will say this: the game plays a lot more like Warcraft than StarCraft.
It did look like that when they showed it off. So that seemed like it was apparent.
And I don't want to get into any more details because it's still an alpha. Don't get me wrong. It's got a StarCraft feel to it. It is very clearly a Blizzard-like game. It's not Blizzard, but it's very Blizzard. But for the ones that loved Warcraft, I mean, I really think that this game is going to fucking super excite those people. I think if people were really looking for a carbon copy of StarCraft 2, you might be disappointed. But at the same time, it still has that StarCraft feel, but it's swaying more. It's like a 70% feel of Warcraft 3 and then 30% of, or maybe it's a mix and mash. Like if it's 50-50, I can't really go into any more than that, but I'll just say I'm really enjoying the game and I'm very, very excited to see where they go with it. And you can clearly, when you play the game, you can clearly tell that this is not the finished product by any means.
Of course.
And there's a lot more. And who knows? The whole feel of the game might change by the time the game comes out. And, what I'm playing now might be a shell, and it will likely be a shell of what you're getting in the future. But if this game comes out the way that it is now, like the feel of it, you won't ever need a Warcraft 4. You won't, in my opinion.
Well, when I saw the video, even in the state it was
Warcraft,
in, it looked like fucking Warcraft. And not just visually, but like mechanically, it looked like Warcraft. So
that's about as much as I can say. When I'm allowed to talk more about the game in detail,
yeah, of course,
I will for sure. But it's exciting. It's a lot of fun, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. I haven't been playing a shit ton of it. I've played maybe 6 games. And the majority of the time, I'm just in there reading shit and trying to kind of understand. But one thing that's really cool, and I think I'm okay to say this, there's basically like a Discord. Like when you get put into the alpha, they're really fucking listening, man. And it's super cool to be on the ground floor of these sort of things. And what's really dope is there's people in the Discord that are playing the game at a pretty high level. And you can just, inside the channel, there's like 15, 20 people all with their mics off, and they're just watching, and they're streaming it privately with the people that are in there. And it's so cool to see people discuss the game on a mechanical and a fundamental level, like to the point where the game is being created and you're kind of watching it being shaped and molded, and there's already build orders, and there's like it's really cool to be on the ground floor and see these sort of things.
It's phenomenal information for the developers to be able to, it's essentially, every game goes through playtesting of sorts, but when you're small and agile like this group is, and you're bringing people from outside in the community into the fold, and you're getting access to people who can play the game at a high level, and it really allows you to get high quality playtesting in real time to be able to know ahead of time if mechanics are going down the path you don't want them to go, so that you can find issues real early and then not end up in a situation where you got to double back and spend months like reworking an entire like set of mechanics or an entire race because you find out that it like breaks the entire fucking thing. Yeah. And I'm sure it is. It's probably crazy, being able to watch that played high level already and then see people talk about it, right?
Yeah, all the devs in there, you can fucking like, it's really cool. They have tournaments, like there's shit going down, like it's super fucking cool. Sometimes I'll just be in there for an hour or two, just watch. And I'll like be laying in bed, just watching people and they're just talking about the game. And it's really, really cool. And I've when I'm playing on ladder, like I've played some pretty big StarCraft names. Like, they're in there fucking doing their thing. Some people are really excited. They see my name. They're really excited about like, are you doing when cheese fails? And guys, there will be cheese in this game. If you're a fan of StarCraft and you're a fan of Warcraft, you are not going to be disappointed with this game, really. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for the next RTS, the next big thing. There's so much I want to talk about, and I want to talk about the mechanics. I want to talk about the maps. I want to talk about the units. I want to talk about what they do. I will say the last thing, because I could talk vaguely for hours about this, but the last thing I will say is I am surprised with how creative or if you play, say for example, you're playing League of Legends, and League of Legends got a fucking bajillion and a half characters.
Of course.
Okay. Then you go play another MOBA game, and then you've got MOBA characters over there, but they feel like League of Legends characters. It's like, oh, okay, that's the Anivia of this, or that's the Vi of that, or that's the Caitlyn of that, or whatnot. I'll say this. I am impressed. Obviously, from the demo that we saw, I'm not saying anything out of pocket, but the demo that we saw, there were similarities where you could look at a specific unit and think, okay, siege tank, okay, worker. I will say I was surprised with how unique some of these units and things are in the game, where I'm like, okay, this is not StarCraft, this is not Warcraft. These are Stormgate units, and you've got a mix mash, but it's cool.
Good to hear. It's good to hear that like at least some concerns are starting to be pushed down a bit, and that stuff's starting to get worked out because that's it. It is. I still think it's just a shame that they maybe pulled the trigger on that showing too early. They had waited a little bit more, and maybe even produced the video better.
But I
don't
even think it hurt them, to be honest. I think the majority of people that are looking forward to this game are still really excited.
Oh, I'm sure, but like we said then, you weren't. That video wasn't for those people. That video, when you're a small team trying to get next runs of funding, you need that video's for other people.
Yes, the good news is, I'm sure on the next showing that they do,
it'd be way better.
Oh, you guys are gonna be like, whoa, okay. It's still gonna look like what you saw to a degree, but you're gonna get. There's gonna be some more layers to it. It's gonna really start clicking, right? So,
of course,
that's all I'll say about Stormgate. I know it's very vague, but I have to be. As soon as I'm allowed to talk in detail, I will.
Elio asks, who is your current, I just combined favorite and current. Your current favorite musician? I don't suppose it's Tay-Tay.
I had to remove the phrase Tay-Tay. It was the first phrase I've ever removed on Twitter. I removed Tay-Tay after 24 hours. So that's enough.
Well, I actually meant Taylor Swift, but are you talking about the other kid?
Oh,
that chick? Yeah, Lil Tay.
Lil Tay.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
That. I mean, Jesus
I'd
Christ.
never heard of her until that,
Really?
She was
like super big like 4 years ago as like a 14-year. Even Eminem had in the diss track against MGK, it's like something about, it's like babysitting Lil Tay.
Is that who that was? Who that was
Yes.
referencing? Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say.
Yeah, no. What was the question again?
Who's your favorite current musician?
Um,
It's been a while since I've heard you talking about a musician. You had a big Frank Ocean kick for a while, but I don't think I've heard
but
an
he's
update
been-
since then.
oh, he's kind of fallen off. He like finessed the whole music industry and dipped. Did you hear about that? What he did?
I don't. Maybe, but I don't. I'm not
my
able. I can't
God,
think of
he's
it.
a
It's-
legend, bro. He skamazed his entire label for like 20 million bucks. Dude, there's like a 10-15 minute when later on.
Yeah.
I don't even want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Just go on YouTube
And just check it out.
and type in Frank Ocean like finesses the music industry or Frank Ocean fucking music industry, and there's a video that explains in detail what this motherfucker did, and it's genius. It's fucking genius, bro. He made like 20 million bucks and he fucking dipped. It's because the label was fucking with him, and he said, "Okay." Oh, and it's the type of fuckery that like big corporations will do to fuck their employees and shit. But he did a fucking reverse card on their ass.
Pulled that
And-
Uno reverse
Oh,
card.
Uno'd the fuck out of them. And they sat there and they were like, oh my God. Holy shit. How did he do? Oh my God. Oh, it was great, dude.
I'll see if I can find that and watch that
It's
later.
so
There you
worth
go.
the watch. You're gonna be mind fucked. The whole music industry changed because of it. They're like, no, we can't. This can't happen again. Favorite musician right now.
I'm not sure if I have one right now.
Neither do I.
I gotta be honest, and this is gonna be like super fucking cliche shit, but the last artist that I spent any amount of time listening to like a full album and enjoying the full album is probably, ironically, Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By.
I would say the artist that I'm listening to the most that is newish or relevant, he's not really new, but he's in jail now, is Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez is probably the artist that I've been listening to the most. I really like St. John as well. I listen to a lot of St. John, and I listen to a lot of Tory Lanez. Those are sort of my go-to, just kind of in the car if I'm listening to music. But I don't listen to too much music, man. And when I do, it's usually just old school shit, man. I'm an old school guy.
That's
I
kind of
haven't
me.
checked out Drake's album yet. I'm gonna do that. I'll buy that album and check it out.
I listened to one or two, and I don't want to say it's the two that I heard. One or two are obviously.
I mean, it's
it's
like
a massive
20-something
album. It's a fucking
songs.
24 fucking song, which tells me immediately probably 50% of them are trash skip right off the rip, almost guaranteed. But even for Drake, Drake's Drake is obviously one of the most successful artists of all time. That's not even up for debate anymore. But but I gotta keep it 100. I feel like Drake is the musician form of the social chameleon. So he's the guy that goes out and Drake doesn't really have his own style to speak of. He kind of has these ebbs and flows. I think he's an above average writer. I'm not going to question his writing skills if he doesn't ghostwrite. Then I think he's got above average writing skills, and his flow is obviously taking him a long way. This flow has changed over time, various different ways. But like the styles are just like the man. He's the social fucking chameleon. He's the dude who grew up in a fucking suburb trying to act a fucking gangster, and then he's out there doing rap games, still talking about the shit now. But then now it's like it's that, but it's in the forms in which he delivers his music. And when I listened to the couple of the tracks from this one, it felt like more of that. It's like, oh, Drake's changing it up again, changing the style up again, but it feels like I'm listening to somebody else's music. I don't feel like I'm listening to Drake. I feel like I'm listening to somebody else's shit.
I mean, I'm not like a Drake fucking crazy Drake fanboy. I do fucks with Drake. I do buy all of his albums.
I fucks with Drake.
I listen to his music. I don't listen to it often, but typically when he comes out with albums, I'll go
Check
through
it
them a
out.
few times.
Yeah.
And what I find with Drake's music is like the first couple times I hear songs, I'm not like super sold on it, and then it starts to grow on me. It's like it's just like
It's an
one of these
earworm
things.
eventually.
Yeah. This is what I'll say about Drake. And I fucks with Drake. So I'll
Yeah.
put Drake into the category. I think Drake is so famous and he's so successful and he's had so many number ones. The dude's probably a billionaire now. The guy
He's one number one off from fucking tying or beating Michael Jackson right now.
right? So, the dude quite literally is probably a billionaire. And so, at the end of the day, I think what Drake is doing now is Drake is doing what he wants to do. I don't think he's got anything else to prove. Obviously, I think the thing that he wants to prove is that he can still do it on a high level. And there's probably still a competitiveness to him against other artists. He wants to be, when he comes out with shit, he wants to be, the GOAT, the king of sort of hip hop or whatever genre-ish that he's kind of weaves and ebb and flows through. The reason why I don't get as worked up about Drake on a negative level is because I don't really care all that much. He puts out stuff, I listen to it. There are people that hyper analyze every fucking line he says, everything he puts out.
Oh, I don't think I've
and
ever
they just
listened that
critique-
carefully. Yeah.
Yeah, they just critique everything.
Yeah.
And when you're that big and you've been on top for that long, people just want you to fail. They're just going to say whatever the fuck. They're,
Well,
and
look
I
what they
think
did
that's
to
just where
Eminem for
Drake-
like his entire
Exactly.
career, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I fucks with Drake. I haven't heard the album yet, so I've only heard 2 songs. I listened to one because a buddy that I know well, or pretty good. He is the beat maker for the last song on the
Oh yeah. Okay.
on his album. So I listened to that song, which I enjoyed, and I listened to a song that he had with J. Cole on the album as well, which is also pretty dope. But I've only listened to 2 songs, and it's like 20 something. And from what I heard, there were like 10 trash songs, another half that were like pretty good, and then there were like 7 that were like excellent.
Yeah.
So sounds about right. It's a big
sounds
album.
about right. Yeah, you get 7. If you get 7 listenable songs out of 22 or some shit, that's not a horrible ratio. I would say the only other thing is, did you see the Joe Budden and Drake shit? Did you read
did.
Drake took that like somebody murdered his family.
Bro,
The response was
Drake,
so fucking
Drake
harsh.
put him in a coffin, bro.
That was the
He
harshest.
said Joe Budden. He said a line in there that it sounded like
It was
a
him.
diss track, bro.
Well, it was because he owned
He's-
I owned a 747 or 760, whatever the fuck, and then he's flying first
class on, like,
class a
special
couple
occasions or
on
something.
special occasions and living in the
Bro.
suburbs.
dude. He said you retired and you just mad because nobody hung your jersey or some shit like that.
No. He said you retired, but we didn't hang your jersey.
hang your jersey.
We didn't
Oh,
retire
man.
your jersey.
We
Yeah,
didn't- Oh my god, bro! When he said that, I was like, oh,
that's a bar.
that's a bar. Like you put that in a song, and it's like, ooh, fuck. And it's like he didn't even have a rebuttal. He was just like, yeah, Drake, you'll grow up someday.
Well,
You
did
know.
you see the video that sparked that response in the first place?
Yeah. Well,
Joe
because
didn't even say anything crazy.
I know. Well, the thing is what Joe. The thing is Joe Budden. The problem is Joe Budden has always kind of taken small digs at Drake.
Oh,
and
sure.
I
Joe
think
takes
now
digs
we're
at everyone, though, doesn't he?
Everybody. He's
Yeah.
become a critic, right?
He's a critic for sure.
He just runs his mouth, goes on his podcast, and he basically is what Drake said. He's like a bitter, salty guy that realized his music wasn't paying the bills anymore. He found a lane in which it pays the bills because he's got just enough hip hop clout. Most people don't know who the fuck Joe Budden is. Let's be real. The ones that know who Joe Budden is are like are like real hip hop heads that were like in the that are like in the know. They
in
know
that
who Joe
pocket
Budden is.
in 1995.
Yeah, but like, dude, most people, they're like, yo, can you name me 3 Joe Budden songs? And they couldn't do it. Like, I'm guarantee you took 100 fucking casual music listeners and say, name me 3 Joe Budden songs. I'd be surprised if 5 could do it. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
But he's just turned into a bitter dude that just sits there and talks shit. And he looks bitter and he sounds bitter. And Drake just said, motherfucker, you know, fuck you, bro. You're just a salty old fuck. And, you know, he went in, he might have went a little too hard on him on, you know, he didn't need to stoop down to that level, but
there's
like,
some shit that Joe said in the past that I would have expected that kind of response for. So when I pulled up my phone and I saw Drake's response, it was the first thing I saw. I didn't see Joe's thing first, right? And I read it, and I was on stream, and I was like, God damn, this is some shit.
He wrote a paragraph.
He wrote a fucking novel, and I was
like
this
line after line, just character
bar on
assassination,
bar, just killing this man in
yo,
public.
To all the fans listening to watching Joe Budden, just know you're watching a failure. I'm like, God
just
damn,
like, calm down,
Drake,
bro.
calm down.
And so the first thing I'm thinking, I'm reading this, I'm like, what the fuck did Joe Budden say to get Drake on 10?
Yeah,
And so I went and I found the video, and he was like, I like Drake or whatever, I like Drake and what I like his music. I think he's got some bars and whatnot, but you know what? The man's 35 years old and he's still rapping, about and hanging out with all these like 18-year-old kids.
Well, and Drake and it's true, but the thing is what Drake has done, and it's what he's done really well, and I don't think anybody can dispute this, is he has a pulse on what is hot and what isn't, and he will put on people that he feels like either that is hot now or that is about to blow, and he'll put them on, and then he'll partner up with them and do songs with them, and then he taps into their audience, and he's like he's a chameleon. He can fucking
he's in the collaborator like part of his career right now, other than this album, which he's still collaborating with people on. He's in that collaborator zone. Like, Eminem is 100% collaborator right now. He pops up on tracks for people you ain't never fucking heard of.
Yeah.
Your entire life, drops like fucking 3 minutes of it just buries the other person. It's supposed to be their song. Shows up, buries the other person on their own song, goes up and disappears into the fucking ether. Drake isn't there yet, but he's getting there. But right now he's in the collaboration mode where, like you said, young people doing their shit, coming up, get on their
and
stuff.
Joe Budden is just bitter. Joe Budden is bitter at him and is telling him to grow up because he's hanging out with like 20, 21-year-old artists. But the thing is Drake does a lot of good for those artists. They do a lot of good for Drake.
Yeah.
And it keeps him in the spotlight, relevant. He's helping out other people. He's still one of the biggest artists on the planet.
Oh yeah.
So like he's just doing it right, and Joe Budden's just, he's salty. You can tell he's salty and a bit jealous or a lot jealous.
I do kind of wish though,
in.
or I hope at some point, I'm sure we will, but I do kind of hope at some point that we do get Drake, mature Drake. I want to know what mature Drake writes like, right? I want to know what he's like when he changes it up and he's no longer, hunting the come up, right, over and over and over again. I'm interested in what Drake raps about when he gets into his mature phase. He's clearly not there yet, but but it was just funny because, like, I know Joe takes digs at Drake and stuff all the fucking time, and so I was like, man, he must have said some crazy shit. And I just think
it was a build-up, bro.
It's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
He probably had a few drinks, probably chilling there with the boys, and he's like, you know what, fuck this motherfucker, I'm going in on him.
Has Charlemagne ever fucking is that his name on fucking?
Yeah, Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, he ever fucking shit on Drake? Because that dude never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, it's Charlemagne. Everybody knows about Charlemagne, right? Same sort of thing.
That dude's wild. Some of the shit that he's asked some of the people on that show is just fucking
that's why
bonkers.
You don't see Drake go on like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, no.
He's just Drake is just on another level, bro. People like to hate on him. I get it, but I still fuck with Drake.
Charlemagne, the motherfucking guy that you go on a show and he's gonna ask you how big your dick is on fucking radio.
Yeah.
He just dude just.
Oh yeah,
he says some crazy shit.
He gets zesty. I'll tell you that.
He fucking zesty. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say honestly, the last album I listened to front to back was Eminem's "Music to Be Murdered By." I haven't listened to any other full albums since. Before that, I listened to Kanye's. Like, I really don't listen to that many full albums these days because so few of them actually interest me. I might listen to Drake's full album. I might sit down and listen to the full thing, or try to.
I'm gonna buy it right now.
There you go.
I'm gonna pick it up right now.
And so yeah, I don't know. I say that I don't think I would say he's my favorite musician. It's just like that's just what I've listened to.
Not my favorite.
This was just what I've been listening to recently. And I just got to keep it 100. Eminem just keeps fucking impressing me. The man, how old is this man?
Oh, he's in his 50s.
He's in his 50s.
He's got to be.
He's pushing
right?
50. If he isn't pushing, he's got to be 48, pushing
Between
50.
48 and 50.
Right?
It's got to be.
And I mean,
Eminem. How old is this motherfucker? He's born in 72. He's 50 years old.
there.
50.
Man's 50 years old. And you listen to Music to Be Murdered By when he did, he was like, whatever, we'll fuck, like 49 years old or some shit, 48. That doesn't sound like a rapper putting together shit at 48, 49 years old.
I mean, it's Eminem.
The man is a fucking god. You know what? And today it just popped up. It's funny how much Eminem popping up today, in conversation, but his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction performance popped up on my YouTube suggestions. I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll pop back in and watch that shit. And he was old there. He's like 40, fucking whatever the fuck. That was only a couple of years ago. He's fucking whatever. And it just made me realize, like, sometimes you forget the career that dude has had up to this point, because he's kind of like gone. He's like faded into the background a bit. Like he's more of like a hip hop head. Like you got to like go find him now. He's not on the radio anymore.
He just the dude just hides, bro. And he comes out of hiding once in a while. He's still alive and he can still crush it. And then he just goes back. Hibernation.
And so like I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ. He had like, he had Steven Tyler on stage singing his part for that fucking song, and then Ed Sheeran's up on there doing with him and everything. And like if M's like fucking, you look at Steven Tyler, like Steven Tyler's old, and then you realize that Eminem is also pretty fucking old. It's just crazy, and he's up there doing Rap God live.
Yeah, it's Eminem.
Jesus fucking Lord. Favorite dipping sauce comes in from Velkus, Mr. Black. If you're dipping something, what are you dipping?
Sweet and sour, man. If I'm not choosing ketchup, like ketchup is like just a good default.
That's the default, yeah.
But if I had to go, sauces,
I
gotta go sweet and sour. Sweet and sour.
Yeah, he said we're not allowed to choose donair sauce, of course.
No,
sweet and sour. Sweet and sour. Like if it's chicken fingers or whatever, it's sweet and sour all day. Easy. I don't know if do you drink coffee anymore?
Yeah, I have coffee every day, bro.
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know if it fucked your stomach up or anything like that.
No, it makes, I pretty much have to shit like within 30 minutes after drinking coffee these days.
Yeah,
but, hey.
Morning shits.
Yep.
That's a benefit. That's at this age, that's a benefit.
It is a benefit. It just clears me out. And that's it. It's like, man, I haven't shit in a while. Let me have a coffee. Go right through me.
Mag Key was asking then, how do you take your coffee?
2 milk, 2 sugar.
I don't drink coffee. So I take my coffee none. I like the smell of it, but I've never been able to get into actually drinking. I've tried a couple times. I remember the first time I really tried was in university when I was desperate to try and like wake the fuck up, studying, whatever else. Didn't do shit.
You don't like espresso shots, stuff like that? Just bow?
Nah. Tim Hortons French vanilla is the closest thing to coffee, and that ain't coffee. It's a liquid chocolate bar.
It is.
That is, you take a coffee crisp chocolate bar, you liquefy that bitch.
I mean, you could do what I do. When I'm at Tim Hortons, I'll get a double, and then I'll get a shot of vanilla put into it.
Oh, there you go. It's
pretty good.
Little vanilla spice in there.
Yeah.
This is funny. This is an extension almost. Fresh to Death Batman asks, how did you prepare for your rap battles back in the day? Any fond memories?
I would just write. I would then like perform them in front of like my buddies. And then they would tell me like, hey, maybe you should change this part, or what if you said it like this? So like it was, I don't want to necessarily say I had a ghostwriter, because I didn't have a ghostwriter, but a lot of rap battles are very, can be very collaborative, with very close. For example, rest in peace, Pat Stay. But Pat used to call me, before his battles.
Pat was a fucking crazy battle rapper.
And
Jesus.
he would perform not the full thing, but like there were certain parts that he'd be like, "Yo, Jeff, like, what do you think of this?"
Yeah.
And you know, it's that's how you prepare for battles. That's how, at least how I did it, and how a lot of the people that I looked up to.
Because sometimes what it sounds like in your head ain't
Correct.
what it sounds like when you got to get somebody else to hear it, right?
The feedback, right? Like,
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't. No, I'm not. I think that's kind of corny or whatever. You should probably like rewrite that or whatever. And then what I would do is, then I would just memorize it, almost like a script. So I would just
wrote
memorize
yours out on loose leaf fucking paper.
Loose leaf paper.
And you just read it over and over and over
I
again.
just read it over and over and over again. And it got to the point where like I'd be in the shower and I would just be saying it over and over and over and over again. Once I learned the lyrics like a song, then I would add the performative part. So how do I want, like, what are my inflections going to be like? Where do I want to, where
do I
am
need
I
a
going to
prop?
Yeah, like exactly. Or like where do I think the audience is going to react? And you know, where I can kind of let the line sit for a few seconds and then jump back into it. So yeah, that's pretty much. I think the majority of people do that now. Now when I still do diss tracks for No Pixel, and it's sort of the same process. So what I do is I'll write the song, and then I'll do a what I call basically just a rough recording. So there'll be, say the instrumental's 3 minutes. I'll record the entire diss track in 3 minutes. I'll do a light performance, not a full-blown thing. And then I'll send specific parts that I'm not fully sold on or whatnot, or parts that I'm really fucking proud of. And I'll send little tiny clippets to people that I trust, and they can give me an honest opinion. That's really good. That's whatever. Once I feel good about it, then I'll re-record it as an actual performance, and then release it. So that's how I used to prepare. That's how I think a lot of battle rappers prepare. It's just memorization. That's what it is. Memorize. So the last thing you want to do is you do not want to choke in the middle of your battle, because
don't pull a B rabbit.
Don't be a B rabbit.
It's true though, but yeah, rip to fucking Pat Stay. That dude was a battle rapping legend.
God,
that guy was a fucking god.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one was for me. So that one was for you. This one's for me. From Fresh to Deaf. I said, I've been watching old StarCraft vids from you too, and I heard something disturbing. Adam hadn't ever heard "Dirty Diana" by Michael Jackson. Have you since rectified this issue?
What?
I read this question, and the first thing that came to mind was I was like
No
trying
way
to think
you
of.
haven't heard that.
I was trying to think of like what. Well, obviously back then when it was recorded, but I was trying to think of like what fucking cast it could possibly be. One of 1,000 of them. But
dude, that must have been like fucking 10 years ago.
But even then, there's no way. Like "Dirty Diana" is my favorite Michael Jackson song, and it was my favorite song for before Lag TV ever existed. So I don't know what the context of me was alluding to or saying outright that I hadn't heard it, but it was, bitch, I was lying.
You had to have been, because
I
have you not heard of Dirty Diana?
Dirty Diana is my favorite Michael Jackson song.
Good.
And it has been since I was probably about 13 years old or so. I think that was when
The
around the
Weeknd's
time.
got a really good cover of that. Very good cover of Dirty Diana.
I feel like I heard that.
Fucking really good.
Yeah. And that's not a song that I would have anyone want to try and tackle very free. That's a tough song to fucking.
He crushes it.
Oh, Dr. Samurai asks, any update on MILF Manor, Mr. Black?
Oh. Well, Kayla and I finished the show.
Okay.
But that was like fucking had to have been almost a year ago now. Like at least 6 to 9 months ago. Yeah, that was a tough show to watch. Like Kayla and I didn't really enjoy watching it. It was so cringe. Like I like watching train wrecks, but I don't like watching like secondhand embarrassment train wrecks that like the whole show is like really painful because you're just embarrassed for them. It's hard to watch. And yeah, no, I don't think we'll ever see another MILF Manor. I think that was like a one and done. I don't know what the reception was like publicly,
probably
but it
not
wasn't
great.
Good. Yeah.
And I always just thought about it like from the dude standpoint. Like imagine if it was like DILF Manor and it was like young chicks and dads. You know what I mean?
Which
like,
ironically is the more common thing that happens in the real world. It's like a 50-year-old man getting with a fucking 25-year-old girl. Like that's
because of his money.
Yes.
That's
and women care less about age than men do. It's like the inverse relationship.
A lot of women care about status. They care about being provided for and feeling safe.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're a young woman, say you're in your 20s or early 30s, and you've dated a bunch of fuckboys, like young idiots, and next thing you know, there's this 50, 55-year-old, 60-year-old retired or you know, guy that has got his life together. He's already had his kids. His kids are fucking grown, you know, but he's got money. He treats you like, you know, he treats you well, like he's enamored by you because like, holy shit, like, you know, I'm dipping in this young thing. And it's exciting. You know, I understand that. But the flip side and what made this show fucking weird is like there were these thirsty moms that like haven't gotten dick in a fucking minute. And you got these young dudes that like, you know, some of them are like, yeah, I'm about to fucking slam my dick in this, you know, this buddy's. And the worst part about it was, I think what made the show super awkward is all of the moms, all of the guys were the sons of all of the moms.
Well, that's the worst
and they
part.
all lived together.
That's
so
fucked up.
It's one thing to have some young buck, you know, slamming his nuts inside a fucking 50, 60-year-old cougar that, you know.
You do you.
And none of them women, with all due respect, were cougars. None of them. They, you know, there was like one that'd be like, okay, you know what? If you had a few drinks, okay. The other ones, no. And, you know, sure.
They weren't Sofia Vergara, for example.
No, fuck. None of them were even 50% of that, right? Because, you know, no, they weren't some J-Lo. They weren't Jennifer Lopez. They weren't fucking Shakira. They weren't none of them.
Their hips were lying.
Oh, yeah. They looked like the mom or the grandmom
of Shakira.
Not even, bro. That you just see at the fucking Walmart. You know what I mean? Like just, you know, which is okay, you know, sure. But like to make a show over that and have these young kids
have to be the sons. Why did it have to be the sons?
All there. So yeah, the show is just awkward, bro. If they came out with another season, I wouldn't watch it. And obviously they would never make the opposite, right? Because there'd be a lot of complaints because that's just the stereotype. This is just the world we live in. Totally fine for, and the thing is the women on the show were objectifying these young boys. Bad. They were like,
well, of course they were.
One was borderline taking advantage of like to the point, like there's a word that I'm trying not to use here for obvious reasons.
I get you. Yeah,
but like it was, you know, it was bordering really inappropriate, like taken advantage of, pressuring. And if a man was doing that to a young woman, be over.
Wouldn't be good.
But it's okay, I guess, for women to objectify the men. But the moment that a man,
I guess it wasn't that okay because the show ain't coming back.
No, but I mean, the fact that it was, dude. If TLC or whatever, they wouldn't even have put that. They wouldn't even have put that on the air, bro. They wouldn't even have put that on the air.
That's true.
There's no way. There's just no fucking way.
Yeah, we did talk about that before. There's no way that would pass. No. That's true. I vote for neither.
Yeah, no.
Just don't do the show in either direction.
Don't.
It's a bad idea.
Don't. Horrible idea. Don't do that again.
No.
I'm all for watching older women or women that like, you know, are sort of out of their prime go out there and date younger men and, you know, kind of document it and have fun with that. But all of your sons,
not the sons,
all in the same house under the same roof with all of the moms and all of the sons. No, bro.
And it's more or less just like a thirst fest. It's not even like an actual legitimate dating situation like that.
That's what it is. The women were literally looking at them like they were fucking meat.
What was the first dishes you were able to make alone?
5-minute rice. I made a lot of 5-minute rice.
God damn. 5-minute rice. Is that even a dish? That's just rice. What were you having with the what did you have with the 5-minute rice?
A lot of the time I would just literally eat rice. Like,
Right, it's gotta be the egg sandwich was your first real fucking
okay,
like.
all right, yeah, I'll take
That's
that.
gotta
Egg
be it,
sandwich,
right?
Yeah, yeah, making breakfast, bacon and eggs,
Yeah.
egg McMuffin. Yeah, okay.
We ate our fucking body weight
An egg
in
McMuffins.
an egg McMuffin, like
The
homemade
eggy
egg McMuffin.
McMaggies.
The eggy McMaggies.
Is
Fucking
what we used to call it.
junior high, pissing them off, the lunch ladies off every day, going back asking for another extra egg, and they started charging more and more for it to the point where we had like 5-6 eggs on one
And those
fucking
things were
sandwich.
pretty, like they were like, just thinking about it back in the day, man. I used to go
Cheap
to
as
school.
shit.
I used to go to school at like $5 a day is like what my parents would give me.
Yeah.
And bro, I ate full fucking breakfast, and then at recess or at lunch, I
Yeah.
could go in there and get like a slice of pizza or something light, or like some
Yes.
fries, for $5, $5. So it feeds you the whole day. Now,
You get a bottle of water
yes,
for $5.
for $4.50. And it's not even Dasani. It's like the shit they get at like Costco in bulk.
Which
That's
honestly
like-
might actually be better than Dasani.
Might be. Like, it might be. So you might-
Dasani's pretty down bad, as we discovered. Which I think
Super
is
down
all
bad.
we drank when we were younger, is just straight Dasani all the fucking time. We got fleeced.
We did get fleeced.
Man, I don't know. First dish for me, if it wasn't like an egg sandwich, like the first, like, if I had to pick one that was like more complicated, like let's say there's like actual steps involved, it was probably chicken divan, which is basically chicken, broccoli, white bechamel, cheese sauce, baked, white wine cheese sauce, baked. That's, yeah, and put that over rice, and that was it. I remember that was like the thing that mom taught me to make when my first girlfriend came over for dinner, and I was making dinner. So I got taught how to do that. Before that, it was like I could make shit, but it wasn't like, multi-step process, legitimate meal shit. Like that's like an actual dinner. It was just
when it comes to cooking.
I was
Legit?
I was really into it though when I was younger, because my grandfather and I would watch cooking shows together.
Cooking
so like
shows,
I
yeah.
always wanted to like, so I was like interested. I ain't interested in it now. I ain't got the time. So like I literally bake, roast, everything. Everything's in an oven, roasted. With like 3 fucking seasonings on it. Salt, well, more than that. Salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, paprika is on every vegetable, chicken, fish. That is the combo that goes on every fucking thing in the oven.
Yeah, no. Kayla is the cook. Period, point blank. I couldn't even be with a woman that didn't cook. I just couldn't.
You die?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like I'd be like, how do I eat? Like I'd be eating takeout I'd be like one of those dudes that you see on fucking Twitter that like post their fucking $18,000 bill, like a yearly bill for fucking
Uber
takeout
Eats.
for Uber Eats. I'd be that guy, except we don't have Uber Eats. Well, we do. But it's like, we'd be waiting forever and a day. We don't live in like a big fucking city.
No.
It'd just be a bad time. I'd be fucking eating out 2-3 times a day, all the time. The only thing I can do would be cook breakfast.
Yes.
You can't fuck up. You can't really fuck up eggs and bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of can, but like it's even when you fuck them up, it's still okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
overcook your eggs, you're gonna survive. You overcook bacon, hey, it's extra crispy. It's all good. Outside of that, I can barbecue, so I can do that too. But I'm also lazy. So like, it's just one of those things. So Kayla, quite literally, this is gonna sound fucking weird for those that are listening. But if Kayla told me to go upstairs right now and turn on the stove and the oven and set it onto 450, right? I couldn't do it.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay.
You gotta know how to at least turn on the oven.
Okay, I know where the power button is, right? But our oven, so our oven and our stove. So our stove is like one of those like
in island things.
Yeah, it's like in an island, but it's like glass, and you only can put on certain types of pot, like an induction or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's an induction stove. Yeah.
Yeah, but like everything is touch. So there's no knobs, there's no whatever. And there's certain settings and things that you need to do. And then there's each individual. I don't know. I really, truly don't know. I'm sure I could figure it out. But like, if I were to go up there right now and somebody had a gun to my head and they're like, fucking turn it on, I'd be like, I'd be freaking out, bro. I'd be sweating. I'd be fucking sweating. So that's where I'm at. That tells you everything you need to know. I've gone grocery shopping maybe 3 times in our entire relationship.
Jesus Christ.
That I've been in the grocery store with Kayla. Maybe 3 times. And really only once in recent memory. So like, and it was because like I was going on a diet and I was like, there's certain things she was like, Jeff, just fucking come, get the shit so I know. And the next time I know, because I'm not playing this. That's the only reason why I'd ever gone. I don't go get groceries. I don't fucking know. I am useless. Useless. I am a lazy son of a bitch.
Oh.
Straight up. I'll clean
damn.
after myself at home. Like I'll pick up my mess, stuff like that. I'm not really that messy. But like, I mean, if you ask Kayla, maybe she'll tell you differently. But
fuck me.
When it comes to household stuff, I'll mow the lawn. I'll shovel the fucking driveway. Right? There's certain things I'll do. I'll go to the dump, take the garbage. Outside of that, man, I'm useless here. I'm useless. I keep the roof over the head, and I ask what's for dinner. That's pretty much it. That's the show. And if Kayla's like, I'm not feeling cooking, like I'm not, it's either that or it's going to be something small. Like I ain't cooking no fucking 3-course, 5-course meal. Then I'll be like, all right, we'll get takeout.
God damn. That's fantastic.
Hey, at least I can admit it. I'm useless. I'm useless. And I have zero desire to learn. Thank God Kayla loves cooking. She just loves it. So like, it's perfect. She loves baking. She loves cooking. I hate it.
It might be useful to have like a small repertoire. Like even Danny Boy has a small repertoire of shit, so that if mom's out cold when I was growing up or whatever, she couldn't do something or whatever, she was sick and whatnot. Dad was able to to do some small stuff like macaroni casserole type kind of simple man food shit. And it was, it's whatever. It was all good. You could just sweep in, get in there, and then back into the just a small like 3. How to make 3 things, and that's it. You just gotta pull them out.
Bacon, barbecue. That's as far as I go. Kai gets excited when I say I'm cooking dinner. He's like, and he's like, wait, you cook? And I'm like, I'm doing a barbecue. So I can make a burger. I can do that. The other day, Kayla was downstairs working out. I was hanging out with Kai. Kai wanted some food. He's like, can you get me a snack? I went in there looking for a pre-made snack. And I was like, Kai, you're going to have to wait for mom to finish. And he was like, well, can you just make me a, he likes having, man, this kid, bro. Man, this fucking kid. Man, I'm going to go on a rant here for a second. You know what, bro? This kid is so goddamn privileged.
Wait. Before we get too far into the privilege of your child, just be aware that you just spent the last 15 minutes talking about how you literally don't even know how to turn on your oven and your wife has to do literally every ounce of cooking in the household.
Yes.
So the privilege thing might not play if we're going to talk about the kid and food.
I mean, am I privileged though? I mean, I've got a good wife that takes care of the house,
right?
I'd say that's not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, but I mean, like, you know, I am privileged, but like, you know, it's not. But that's just like that's something that was like, you know, like sort of opposites attract. You know, it's like we complement each other. I'm really good at certain things. She's really good at certain things.
I
Right?
think though, if you said, "Honey, I'm gonna learn how to cook to do one meal a week where you don't have to cook," she'd probably be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh yeah,
Yes!
she would be great. But you know
She'd
what
be
else?
thrilled.
You know what else would be equally as thrilled about? Hey, honey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner once a week. She'd be like, yes, yes. So hey,
Does that
I'll do
happen?
that. No, but
Anyway, so Kai,
yeah.
Kai's
No, but-
privilege.
yeah, no, but I'll order us food once a week, right?
Okay,
We
I
don't
see,
necessarily
okay.
like go out for a date, you know, like
Okay.
we do that like once a month, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not. But
Yeah.
I do order food like I would say once a week minimal. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. That's what mom and dad
Um,
do once a week. Get the order in. Mom takes a night off. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's definitely a real thing here. Especially like the thing is Kayla will tell me like, hey, I've had a long day. I'm not feeling like cooking a full meal. This is what I'm gonna cook. It's very quick. It's typically stuff that I'm like, I don't get excited about. And then she basically gives me the option, hey, I can make this. I'm not feeling it. And I never get upset about it. You know, it is what it is. You slave around the house. It is what it is. But how about I just order us food instead? Like when Kai goes to bed, we'll order something. She's always down game for that. But anyway, Kai, this fucking kid, bro. Dude. You
What's
know,
his favorite snack?
Oh, bro, it's bad, man. This kid, you know, I ask myself, and I think part of it is like, dude, I grew up poor, pretty fucking poor. I wouldn't say poor, but I ain't too far from it. Okay, I didn't grow up. This kid, he's gonna be fucked. I mean, he is ruined. This kid eats. I mean, this motherfucker will have like avocado toast. He'll have like fucking. He asked me for a snack. I said, "Son, what do you want for a snack?" Because if not, you have to wait for mom. Because I'm not very good at this.
I mean, you got to be able to do an avocado toast. It's just
Well,
toast
I
and
can.
avocado.
No, I can. But
Okay.
like, this is what he wanted. He wanted like a parfait, like a fucking
Oh, like yogurt, berry,
yogurt. So I said,
granola.
okay. I said, I can do this. So I go in the cupboard, I get a bowl, and he's got like, you know, we've got 3 different types of yogurt in there, right? We've got like fucking Greek yogurt. We've got like low in fat yogurt. We got like other type. Like, it's stupid. So I go in there. I'm like, which one do you want? He's like, I pull one out and he's like, no, not that one. So, well, what one do you want? He's like, that one up there. I said, I get that one. Take like 3 spoonfuls. I put that shit in there. I was like, what else do you want? He's like, blueberries. I said, okay. So I get the blueberries. We always get fresh blueberries. So I put blueberries in there. And he's like, banana. I'm like, okay. So I get banana. I'm cutting up little pieces of banana. I put that shit in there. And I'm like, what else do you want? He's like, now drizzle it. Just drizzle it with honey. I said, man, what do you mean drizzle?
This kid said drizzle?
Yeah, he said drizzle.
All right, okay.
He said, give me a drizzle of honey. I said, drizzle. And I'm sitting there laughing, right? I'm like, this motherfucker. I said, okay, fine. I can't find the honey anywhere. I'm like, where's the honey at? So I look around. I'm looking. I'm yelling, Kayla, where's you know where the honey is? She's like, it should be in the cupboard. So I find the honey. And I'm drizzling some honey. I'm like, is that enough? He said, a little bit more. I said motherfucking little shit. I said, drizzle on some more honey, right? And then he said, do we have strawberries? I said, no, I think we're out. He's like, you could tell he was upset. He wanted some strawberries, right? So I'm like, is there anything else you want, Your Highness? And he's like, no, I think that'll be good. So I said, all right. He sits up on the table. I give him that shit, and he's sitting there. He's eating it. He's like, this is good. So he's eating this shit, right? And I'm looking at this kid, right? And I'm sitting there. I'm having like an out of body experience. I'm looking at this kid, and he's sitting there eating his fucking little parfait, right? And he eats this shit all the fucking time, right? And Kayla will make him up these like.
At least it's healthy, right? I mean,
No,
he could be coming to you
it's
being
healthy.
like, "Daddy, buy me, give me some chips or some cookies or some shit."
He doesn't eat that. He does.
Yeah.
His grandmother will bring him over like a he likes Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Things. So his nana will bring over that, or if he or cheesies. We don't let him drink. We don't let him drink pop. We don't let him.
Yeah.
We don't let him. He eats pretty fucking clean, probably too clean. But I'm looking at this kid, man, and he's sitting there and he's fucking chowing down, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like borderline mad, and I'm like, but I'm not mad at him, but I'm mad because I created this, and I'm not talking about like the son, but I'm talking about this like this fussy, this little sack of privilege. And I'm like looking at this kid and I'm like, man, when I was your age, boy, I wanted a fucking snack. Like, bro, my mom would tell me to eat my left hand and save the right for later. There is none of this parfait bullshit. Kayla will sit there and she'll cut them up, slices of salami. She'll cut up some cheese. She got little crackers on the side. She got, certain, and he won't even, and he loves water, but he needs his little Mio add in there. It's got to be the right amount of fucking squeezes of stuff. This kid is like, I just put my hands up. I'm like, bro, so long, dude, if I have Kai for a day, he's fucked. I mean, I'm gonna be like, yo, Kai, we're eating out. I mean, he'd probably love it because we going to McDonald's, fucking getting pizza. We got, because I don't know how to cook. That's where I'm at, bro. He's a little spoiled. He's so spoiled. I'm like, yo, did you clean your room? He says, which one? I'm like, you spoiled little son, you little. What have I done, bro?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the good thing. All right, listen. He's still young.
Yes.
This kid's 4 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. He might be modeling or getting some modeled poor behavior that he's adopted a little bit of. All right. Sure. But he's 4 years old. The good news is, if you start working, he's still moldable like clay right now.
I know.
You wait until he's 10, and then your only option is you got to be some asshole that's yelling and screaming at him all the time, which is probably only gonna make it worse. Let's be honest, because you grew up in a house of yelling and screaming. Our friends grew up in houses yelling and screaming. It didn't do shit.
Yeah.
You still got to. You still have time. It's there. You can both learn how to make a parfait, even though it's a little fucking extra. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little fucking extra.
He's 4.
All right,
it's extra.
It's a little extra, but I guess the upside is, how I would look at it though is a couple of things. How I would look at it. One, I'd be taking the opportunity, and that's as father son, I'd say, Kai, you're gonna learn how to make your parfait. You come on over here. Take your yogurt out. Take the he ain't cutting shit like the banana. Like you just watch him carefully, right? He's not gonna lop a fucking goddamn finger off.
He's got like his own little plasticish knives.
So you just cut your fucking make your parfait. Now he's made something for himself, and it's this bougie ass bullshit fucking snack. It's bougie as shit, but at least he making it himself.
Dude,
and then you just say in the future you want to make all you have to do is come ask mom or dad. When you want a snack, you want to make it. Say, can I make myself a parfait? Now you got two birds, one stone. You're teaching him a skill. You're not the one standing there asking him he wants to drizzle a fucking goddamn honey on his fucking parfait.
It's a drizzle, bro. I'm like, where do you even learn that word, man?
He heard his mom say drizzle.
Yeah,
she would have said it every time. Just a drizzle of honey. He's mimicking what he hears from mom. Drizzle of fucking honey. He's like, which to an adult sounds like he's being a fucking pinky out fucking bougie bitch, but he's just hearing from mom saying fucking drizzle of goddamn honey. He's 4 years old. So, you teach him how to make this goddamn stupid-ass parfait with his gold flakes and fucking champagne. And then you got that done. Now you got a moment with, mom, you got dad and son. Dad doesn't know how to make the parfait any more than the son does, but you figured it the fuck out together. He's made it. Now he can eat his bougie bullshit, and you can stand on the other side of the room and go, you know what? Yeah, this is fucked up, because mom told me to eat both my hands and kick myself in the dick every time I want a fucking snack. But, you know what that means? It means I busted my ass, and now I'm hearing my son is allowed to eat bougie shit and use the word drizzle.
Yeah, there's a big part of me that like gives myself a pat on the back, and I'm proud, and don't get me wrong, I'm fucking. I wouldn't have it any other way. But sometimes I just look at this kid and I'm like, bro, you have no idea how fucking good you got it. You have no.
But
you don't
that's
even
why I
fucking
stress,
know.
get him to start making stuff of his own, because he does have it real good, and it is easy for kids to let that go wild, especially if both parents are crazy busy, and everyone has crazy busy parents right now. Kayla's back and working and shit, and it gets real easy for parents to just go on autopilot, and then it's everything the kid says he just gets, because it's easier to give the kid the shit and not have to hear him go, Drizzle, than it is to fucking, Drizzle, than it is to actually like go through the motions, because it's like it's gonna be a better outcome if you do, but you just had a long ass day, you're fucking salty as shit, you don't have to fucking do it. But if you don't, then he's gonna be an asshole. He at 4 years old now. If he's getting a little sassy now at 4, bro, let me tell you. I mean, girls get it earlier. They're like 6, 7. They get their personality. Boys, it's like 10, and there ain't no going back. Once they hit 10, you are done fucked.
I know. Listen, man, if my mother and Kayla had it their way, this kid would be fucking. He'd be floating around this house like he'd have a fucking crown on his head. He'd be
Now don't go the extreme other end. And be like the tough love, like militant fucking like sergeant, major fucking Payne or whatever type shit where you're walking over. Stop crying! I'm gonna drizzle your ass in the backyard. Like just like you can't go the other end. Gotta get some balance in there, but I mean, it'll be fine. But you gotta, it's kind of funny to hear a 4-year-old say, "Drizzle some honey on my parfait." Yeah, it's kind of fucking hilarious.
That's just one instance. I won't get into all of it, but he's got taste where that only the privilege would have at this point in his age. And I just look at him sometimes and go, man, I fucking drizzle something, boy.
Oh God, drizzle honey.
Yeah,
it's so funny. It makes it funnier to me because all he knows is what that word means. He doesn't know that contextually asking dad to drizzle some honey is like,
this drizzle.
You're pushing a button. You're pushing a button.
He's like, a little more. I'm like, man, this kid, bro.
You take him to a restaurant, you'll be like the guy with the pepper grinder.
Trying to I'm like trying to be a dad, I'm like, yeah, I got this. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, and the fucking honey's got a big fucking hole in it at the top. And so if I go too much, the big fucking gloop of it is going. And I'm sitting there trying to appease this 4-year-old, trying to just drizzle them. And I'm sitting there focused. And I finally do it. And he's like, a little more. I'm like, oh, so anyway, story of my life.
Oh, shit. That's fucking funny. That's good stuff. I don't even know how we got to that one, but we got time for one more, and then we're fucking... Unless it's two very quick ones. Marky Mark is a tall guy that has an intercontinental flight coming up. Any tips from Adam? Cut your legs off. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, listen, there's something you can do. All right.
First class.
Upgrade your seat. All right. Doesn't necessarily need to be first class, but at least get that premium seating. If it costs you an extra $80 opposed to like fucking 500, do it. God, like, bruh. Dude, I do it. And I'm fucking 6 foot. I'm 5'11".
If you can get an exit seat or some shit, get an exit seat. Yes. The other premiums are the ones that are in the middle row at the very front before the change in sections. They're not exits, but they have the leg room. And so they typically cost more because you have the leg room, but you don't have the responsibility of opening the door in case of emergency. So like that's all you got, bro. That's literally it. Otherwise, you're gonna be like me, salty. That's it.
Yes.
That's all you can do.
Preferably not with COVID.
I can promise you.
Coming from Asia. Fuck all
30 hours of that is not what you want in your life.
No. 30 hours of flying
in general
healthy ain't what you want. Period. I don't give a fuck if you're 5'6".
No, it's a
You still don't want to be on a plane for 30 hours.
Bro, you know what though? Now that I've done it, somebody said I got a flight coming up going overseas. It's gonna be 12 hours long. Said
you're
nothing.
like, but bitch,
nothing.
Bitch, ain't shit. I wish my shit was only 12 hours. Fuck out of here.
Easy mode now. I done been there. I climbed that mountain. Halloween coming around. What's your favorite holiday of the year? I mean, it's fucking Christmas, man.
Christmas.
It's fucking goddamn Christmas, man.
Yeah, it's not even. It's not even hard to. It's Christmas all day, every day.
No, I get to December 1st. It's National Neil Diamond Day. It's my own holiday. Listen to the Neil Diamond Christmas album Volume 2 on repeat for like 4 goddamn hours. I'm in the mood. Boom, bada bing. But about got some Bing Crosby, White Christmas in the background. If it's snowing outside, I'm literally in fucking goddamn heaven. It doesn't take much more than that. And then I get to see my family, chill, smell a Christmas tree for a little bit, salty when I have to take it out of the house and all the fucking needles go everywhere, and then I'm right back into it. But that Christmas time, that's the show. It's the Catalina Wine Mixer. Last question, Christmas. Easy one, Mr. Black. Seth said, or asks, are either of you doing Movember? No. Do you? No. Listen. I don't want to know what I look like underneath this thing. I don't. And to do Movember, I'd have to shave it, and that ain't happening.
Kayla looks at me weird now when I shave, and it's not a good weird. It's not like
yes,
it's not like I fucks with that.
You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Don't do that. And I think I shaved my face completely about a year ago, and I did it because I fucked up my shave. So
yeah, that's the fucking worst.
I took too much off, getting fancy with it. I fucked something up, and I was trying to be a hero because usually when I go to the barber, I get them to do my head and then line me up here and kind of make everything nice. I was being a fucking idiot. I didn't want to make time to go to the barber, so I just buzzed my head, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let me try and do the shit. No, fuck that shit up. I said, I gotta shave it now. I shaved it. I come outside. Kai looked at me like I was an intruder, and Kayla looked at me like, this ain't my husband. You're not getting laid for a minute, and don't do that again.
You look like a thumb. Why did you do that?
Yes. So I'm done. I have to. I'm basically there now. As where it stays. My dad is the same way. I can't recall a time where I saw my dad with no facial hair. I actually just can't remember.
I'll never forget. And when you have a kid too, if you have it, you almost have to fucking wait until you're like 7 years old before you even bother shaving it off, because it will literally your child will think you're a different person.
Yeah.
When you shave your shit. I will never forget when I was like 5. My cousin Kayla were the same age, 1 month apart. And John back then, my Uncle John had the Magnum PI full thick mustache. Now, because he can grow a thick beard, but mustache was literally, he looked like Magnum goddamn PI. And he had it for a long time. And I don't even know why. I think it was just a whim. One day he just decided to shave that bitch off. And he walked through the door, and me and Kayla and Ben. Ben was so young he didn't fucking remember shit. Ben was still fucking like goo goo gaga shit at that point. But like, Dad walks through the door. And Kayla literally just about had a fucking anxiety attack, bawling her fucking eyes out, didn't know who the fuck the guy was like confused as shit, like just couldn't take it, and everyone was laughing. Adults are all laughing, right? Because they're like, this is it's funny as shit to them. But Kayla literally tortured, like just completely, oh my God. Where's Daddy? And it's just like they have no concept. They have no idea what the fuck is going on. And so yeah, it was for him it was very striking because his mustache is like 3 times as heavy as mine, and he's got the tall lip and the heavy fucking, so it changes his face dramatically.
Right, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, straight up Burt Reynolds mustache. You don't like, it's a different person. You get rid of it. Yeah. And he got rid of it, and I was just like, God damn, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that he woke up the next morning, the mustache is back. So.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take me long either. Like if I were to shave it all off. Within a week, it's almost right back to where it is. It's weird because my facial hair only gets so
slow
long
to a stop.
Like here,
yeah,
I can grow, like for whatever reason, my chin, like I could
keep going.
Probably grow shit down to like there. But everything else,
everyone's different.
It just stops. It's it gets to a certain point. It's like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, and everyone's different like that. Like, my face is really weird for like. My beard, if I let it go, it'll get heavier for sure. It'll never be like the fucking Santa beard.
Yeah.
It would get down to about here maybe if I really let it go. It would look fucking goddamn terrible because I have more or less a neck beard. But what's the craziest part about my beard is that my right side here, this strip right here, grows about 30% faster than my left. So
Damn.
when I
you
go
gotta,
into
like,
the mirror,
trim down like
Yeah,
one side as the other side's growing in.
yeah. So like when I go in and I get like my number 7, which is what I take out, and then I hand chisel out the rest afterwards, and I go up this, my left side is like, it's catching some hair or whatever. I go up the right side, it's like, and I'm like,
what the fuck?
what the fuck is going on over here? So yeah, it's just like everyone's got their, a slightly different deal. Speaking of slightly different, it's now time for something completely different, and that completely different is StarCraft. Mr. Black and I are going to go and do some casting of just that. Solid podcast. Makes up for last week's miss. You guys out there in the land of commuters, bless. Have yourself a wonderful time. And thank you very much for stopping by. If you've been listening to this live, or if you listen to us on the RSS feeds, as always, share the podcast if you think somebody else is crazy enough to listen to whatever the fuck this is. And until we see you guys next week, stay safe out there. Have a good one, and fucking drizzle that honey. Drizzle.
Hey.